good to go, good to go, good to go. Start streaming. There we go. Okay. There we have it. Oh, bloody righty. What are we doing? There we go. There we go. And that's that. And that's that. We are almost ready. Almost ready. Almost ready. Just a few more seconds. I want to get that right there. So I see the whole screen. That works. That works. That works. That works. Araspa, good evening. Pressure, good evening. How are you doing today? I think we're pretty much set. Hey? Huh? Uh-oh. Over there, Facebook's not up and running yet. Let's see what we got. What do we got? What do we got? What do we got? Oh, stop recording. Don't need that. All right, that's good. That's good. That's good. All right, gotta get my nutrition drink ready to roll. Here we go. What's going on with Facebook? What the hell's going on there? All right, so who do we got here? John Butschultz. Okay, John, how you doing? Cool beans. Loading with Facebook. Cool. All righty then. Good evening, everyone. My name is James. This is Dividend Stock Talk, brought to you by The 10-Minute Trader, where I invest in dividend stocks for weekly cash flow. Take you along for the ride for a simple, safe, predictable, consistent 1% per week. That's my goal. I'm not looking to hit a home run. I'm not looking, to score the winning goal. No, I'm looking for a simple, safe, predictable, consistent, no way that I can lose trading strategy to gain 1% every single week. So what am I looking for? Well, I'm looking for capital appreciation and a little bit. Stock options and dividend stocks, specifically dividend stock companies that are consistently profitable for a minimum of 2 decades. Okay. Now we checked Monday. Okay, we checked Monday. There's 10,020, or is it 30? Robin, how you doing today, Robin? There's over 10,000 different companies that we can invest in on any day. So why do you pick what you're picking? What are you looking for? Are you looking to double, triple, quadruple your money in a couple of days? Well, if that's what you're looking for, you're in the wrong place. It's not what I'm looking for. That's not my focus. Okay, so let's see, who do we have here tonight? Raspa's here, Pressure's here, John's here, over on Instagram. Yeah, I keep forgetting Instagram. And Robin's here over on Instagram. Who do we have over here? Oh, Treber. Okay. KK, what's happening? Dagmar, Realtor, buy, sell. Good evening. John Robillard, good evening. Franco, good evening. Paolo, Sissy, Ben. Sully Cully, good evening. TSE, good evening. Leesme. Okay. Gerwinda, Calvin Hill, good evening. And Calvin Hill. Back to the beginning. Where were we? Ooh, a lot of people here today. Holy shit. All right. Lismo, blah, blah, blah. Armando. Doc Botox is in the house. Kansas Carl, good evening. Francis Rains, good evening. The one guy. That one guy. You know what? That was my name. I was dating this chick, and everybody else, you still dating that one guy? That was my name. That one guy. It's like, what is it with women, okay? And what is it with men who date women, okay? And their friends. I was like, hey, you still seeing that one guy? Okay, hey, yeah, you still with that one guy? Yeah, that was me, that one guy. Bill Lewis, good evening. Sam Gunn, good evening. Fashu, good evening. Tony G, what's going on? Trud. What kind of a name is Trud? Don't get me wrong, I'm not insulting the name. It's just Trud. Okay, Nick Carter, how you doing? Advisor Juanito, good evening. Red. Kenny Y. Or is it Kenneth Y? Okay. Annabella, good evening. Johnny Mac, Juanito, ¿qué pasa, amigo? ¿Cómo está? William, 766, go on. Jackie, good evening, Jackie. Jay Smith, Jeff Wagner, I got a whole bunch more. Michael, UK Street. Okay. Fam Dam Supply, not quite sure what that means, but okay. G.A. Wilkins, good evening. Alex Pons, good evening, good evening. Zucker Air. Zucker Air? I don't know. Bad Nash Ras. Good evening. KD, what's happening? That one guy, 1984. Ooh, a different that one guy. That one guy. One is that one guy and that O-N-E guy. Well, still that one guy. Two of them. Michael Sinclair over there. Josh, what's happening? Givers, takers. Ooh, greetings from Scotland. Josh Barrick. Scotland, holy cow. How are you guys doing over there? John Warner, good evening. Givers, takers, good evening. GD, ice in his veins. James, good evening. How's the tariff treating your dividends? You know what? Believe it or not, I got my second margin call on one of my accounts. Wait a minute. Second margin call on two accounts. I got 7 different accounts. 7. Okay? 2 accounts. 2 margin calls. 1 today, 1 yesterday. Why is this supported to be bad? This is the best opportunity to buy on discount. All right, Daniel, people will believe whatever they're told to believe. Believe it or not, that's just funny. I'm asking you to believe something. Okay, believe it or not, people believe whatever they are told to believe. And if there's nothing for them to believe in, they'll make shit up. Okay, it's always weird. Hi, the best. Good evening. I'm back. Cool beans. All right. Some comments will be, filtered. All right. Maple Moose. Good evening. Nate Krellis. Good evening. Dawn. User Dan. What's happening? Michael and Guyan. Okay. Sigma. Good evening. Mr. McCumsel, okay, interesting name. Do you believe in Solana? Well, McCumsel, you got to give me the ticker symbol, all right? Because I don't know what the ticker symbol is on everything. Remember, there's only 10,000. I do. I'm here to protect Solana. Well, you got to give me the ticker symbol, and I'll take a look at it. I'm the future me. Watch me. 0 tariffs. Cool beans. They laugh now, they wonder later. Cool beans. Mahesh, good evening. How are you? I haven't seen or heard from you in a while. Where did we go? There it is, right there. Okay, Chad Robertson, good evening. Sigma, good evening. Warren, a.k.a. DJ Crazy Hype. Cool beans. I'm the future, watch me. Okay, 0 tariffs. Bobby Ellis, good evening, Bobby. Gary Lee Kirkpatrick. All right. Melodic Angie, how are you doing? Scott's here. Alicia's here. David's here. Scott. Intel dropped like crazy. Ooh, cool. Warren, cool. Jesus Vargas. Warren. Okay. Tasha, good evening. Austin, what's happening? Bo Diddley. Oh, I like Bo Diddley. How did you get started? No. Okay, Bo Diddley, that's an interesting question. I basically got started because I had so much money I couldn't figure out what to do with it. Bought houses, bought cars, bought a lot of stuff, but then I had to take care of it all. Stocks are so much easier. You buy it, you leave it alone. It grows, great, wonderful. 10 to 15 minutes a week, cool. Well, now I do it 10 to 15 minutes a day because it's just so freaking cool. It keeps on going. Epic Silva. Guessing is great. Indy 500. What's the best broker to trade futures with? All right, Indy 500. I don't do futures, so I couldn't answer that question for you. Sorry. Reggie Bo Jackson saying hi from Mexico. What the hell are you doing in Mexico? It's hot. You live in Canada. Why aren't you in Canada where it's nice and comfy? Okay, Ken George, good evening. Tim McCarty, how are you doing, Tim? Hope everything's going good. Fasal, good evening. Michael Dean, good evening. Okay, Michael UK, good evening. Do you ever sell puts in order to get into a stock? Sometimes I do if the numbers work. Okay. Tasha, good problem to have. Yep, I see that. P2, who have you studied? Not quite sure what you mean by that. Okay. Anna, good evening. All right, so over here, funny, I was watching Margin Call last week. Okay, Nicholas Rodriguez, I'm not quite sure. I'm assuming that's a movie, Margin Call. Okay. NAMI AC, do you ever think about how this could all collapse and be worthless in seconds? Not really. How do you know when your option gets called? Oh, you'll get an email or a text, one or the other. My concierge pharmacy, cool beans. So, NAMC, okay, NAMAC, whatever, how do you pronounce that? NAM, NAMAC. Okay. Good evening. All right, so do I ever worry it's all going to collapse and go worthless? No, not really, because when you borrow money from someone, you're legally obligated to pay them back. So you have over 10,000 companies here, just in the US alone, that have borrowed money from investors. That's you and I. We are the investors. Okay, so you have over 10,000 companies that have borrowed money from us. And you think we should automatically just let it go and say, all right, no need to worry about it. And then, no, I'm all for living off grid. Really, I am. I think it's wonderful. It's a great idea. You should try it sometime. Live off grid. Go out in the woods and just pop a tent and fend for yourself. However, there are certain things you're going to need. P2 Cool Beans, I've been using ChatGPT to compare my TA with others. Okay. Mahesh, please explain getting a margin call. Thanks. I'll explain that in a minute, Mahesh. Right now, I'm dealing with Mansi over here. I mean more like something like a solar flare, literally deleting 90% of the world's digital money. I know the system is otherwise quite stable. Well, alrighty then. Okay, so let's say hypothetically it's a solar flare and everything electronic gets cut out. Well, a lot of people are going to have a difficult time, okay? Especially those people in the cities. Now, people in the country, it's not that difficult for us to go outside, light a fire, and cook some food and catch something or eat something or harvest fun. But people in the cities, they're going to have an issue. Okay, where can you, if you live in a city, you live in a condo, okay, like an apartment building, like 50 stories, and you have like thousands of people living there, how are you going to tend for yourself? Think about it. Not very easy. Could it happen? Yeah, it could. It might happen. That's a dumb take. It won't dump. I don't know what you mean by that, PS2. Okay, so awareness to teens. If you had $2,500 and were a beginner, what stock investment would you make? I wouldn't. Okay, this is my honest opinion. You missed my other comments, buddy. I did. Hold on a second. Okay, I've been with using ChatGPT to compare my TA. I have no idea what TA means. Okay, with others. I'm off grid. Got that part. It won't dump. That's a dumb take. And you missed my other comments. Would have made more sense. So I read every single question and every single comment, every single one. So before it won't dump, I said. Before what won't dump? I'm totally clueless as the conversation you're having in your head. Is Forex profitable? No, Zach, I don't do Forex. Okay? Now, I looked at it years ago. You don't know what TA mean, Bubs? Okay, so here's the thing. Okay? Where I grew up, TA means tits and ass. Okay? So I don't know what your TA means. I'm a ghost. Tasha, how you doing? No, I'm saying I said something before that you can't see it. Okay, it's technical analysis. Well, alrighty then. See, TA is a huge, it could mean a whole bunch of things depending on what industry you're in. Okay, growing up in the 60s, 70s, and 80s during muscle cars, yeah, TA meant a certain thing to us. and it wasn't technical analysis. Just saying. All right. Now, for you, maybe a younger crowd grew up with computers and being, Federalist. No, I'm a Gen Xer. We grew up differently. Different things mean different things to us. I've been using ChatGPT to compare mine with others. So far, no one gets close to me. Time of arrival, TA, time of arrival. Could mean that also. Technical analysis is older than you, bro. Not necessarily so, okay? Because personal computers and technical analysis didn't really come into effect for the mainstream until the 80s and 90s, okay? So where I grew up, TA meant TA, all right? So let's not, split hairs on, this is not a pissing contest, so let's not do that. I appreciate the time you took to answer. Okay. We had charts before computers. Yeah, I'm well aware of that. But in the 80s, I wasn't trading. I wasn't trading until the late 90s. Late 90s. Okay? That's when I first started trading. That is when technical analysis, teacher's assistant, there you go. Another TA. O'Neill wrote his book before computers. I have no idea who O'Neill is. Okay? So we're getting off base. Okay, let's stop with the history lesson. I really honestly don't care. P2, I DMDU. Okay, cool beans. My question is getting filtered. Well, Tasha, you need to ask your question in a manner in which it won't get filtered. Because certain words you're just not allowed to use, and it just gets filtered out. Top 3 stocks to invest in right now. Ooh, that's a good question. I can't give you that one. Okay, AMV, XRP is not a dividend stock. Sorry. Okay, Robinson, I can't give you that answer because I know nothing about you and I have no idea what you're looking for. Okay, I can tell you what 3 stocks I like and we can go from there. Okay, I like Dell, Intel, and US Steel. That's what I like. AMD, no. Advanced Micro Devices, no. NVO, well, let's go. Let's take a look at it. Let's stop the questions for a bit. Let's go over here, see what we got over here. Okay, you got it? Tigwiz FX. What's the biggest mistake you made while you are a beginner? Thinking that I am smarter than I actually am. Okay, I made a trade that I thought was going to set me up for life with a huge win. Yeah, I was dead wrong. Lost $91,000 in like 5 days. Very uncomfortable scenario. But it's a lesson I learned that I haven't repeated yet. I have no intention to repeat that mistake again. But that's what happens. You make a mistake, you learn, you move on. Okay? I didn't abandon it. I didn't run. I didn't hide. I lost a whole shitload. I did. Took me a while to regroup, get back into things, and do it again. Great answer. This will help me. Yeah, well. Can't chat right now, Mr. Steve. I'm in the middle of a show. All right, anyway, let's keep on going. What other question we got? Okay, so somebody wants to take a look at NVO. All right, so let's take a look at it. NVO. Novo Disc. Okay, it went from 150 down to 61. More than a 50% drop. Okay, do you like this stuff? Apparently, whoever picked it up must like it. Now, I can take one look at it and I can tell you I don't like it. The reason why I don't look how choppy it is. Okay, look at this. Gap down, gap down, gap up, gap down, gap up, gap down, gap down, gap down, gap down, gap down, gap up, gap down. Yeah, way too many gaps in this thing. There's no steady predictability to it whatsoever. Or at least it doesn't look like it. But anyway, look at where we are right now. Uh-oh, I gotta do this. And then we're gonna do this. All right, that way we get to see all of it. All right, so 30 days ago would be the 8th. All right, 8th was a Saturday. All right, here we go. Okay, so here's 30 days ago. Okay, she dips a little bit, shoots back up. Here's our 30-day high. She drops down. Monday is the 30-day bottom. Look what happened on Thursday and on Friday. Now, Thursday, it was just a minor down day. It wasn't a gap down on Thursday, which you would expect because mostly everything else did gap down on Thursday. But no, she gapped down on Friday. She gapped down on Monday, but then Monday turned around and went up. And today she opened higher today, but then closed lower. Okay, so what do you think of Novodisk? I never heard of them. Now, it's not something I would invest in because if I haven't heard of them, then probably going to be a no. So what does this thing normally do this time of year? So this time of year, let's take a quick look at the seasonality chart. Now that looks pretty damn good if you ask me. Okay, now if you don't know what a seasonality chart is, it is 10 years of data looking at the average movement on stocks that basically, business as usual, what does a stock normally do? Well, most companies get a service or a product, and that's all they do, a service or a product. Well, look at Coca-Cola. What do? They make Coca-Cola. Okay, they don't make cars, they don't make starters, they don't make ceiling fans, they don't make lawn furniture, they make Coca-Cola. Okay, it's the same thing over and over and over again. So there should be a pattern over and over and over again. Well, here, I don't really know anything about Novodisk, so I really can't speak eloquently of it, other than, okay, here we are in January, it goes flat, and then from the end of January, it looks like right up until the beginning of July, a nice upward trend, stops in July, goes sideways for a little bit, and then jumps up again, drops. Okay, but you can see the motion. Now, this is an average movement over the last 10 years. That's 2015, 2016, 2017, 18, 19, 20, so on and so forth for 10 years. Okay, so what is it doing now? Well, the blue line represents this year. Okay, so here's the next few weeks for Novodisk, Novastar. What the hell is? Yeah, Nordisk, Nordisk. Okay, so here's where we are. This little blue dot right there, that represents today. Okay, the blue line is movements this year. The red line is 10 years worth of movement. What is the average movement? Well, this is what it is. Okay, right here, go sideways for a bit and slowly go up towards the end of April, beginning of May. A nice upward trend. Not perfect, but still going upwards. All right, great. So do you like Novo Nordisk? Now, what I want to do is get out of here and go to Yahoo Finance and see exactly what NVO does. All right, so here we go. NVO. Novo Nordisk. Well, let's find out. All right. So 1990. Oh, check this out. 1998 to 2025. These are going to be all the dividends. Now let's see. Are they consistently profitable? Do they make a good buying opportunity? All right. So apparently, it looks like they pay a dividend once a year. Okay. So 2005 would be 20 years ago. So 4, 5, 6, 9, 10, 14, 18, 25, 32, 42, 38. Hold on. It actually went backwards. So they were doing pretty good for the first 8 years. Okay, right up to 2014. Then in 2015, they lost money. They went from 42 to 38. But in 2016, they started paying a dividend twice a year, 48 and then 22. That's more than a 50% drop. Okay, so from 38 to 48, well, that's nice. But from 48 to 22, that's more than a 50% drop. Why would I want a company that does a 50% drop? Okay, hold on. Let's keep going. 33, 24, backwards. 33, 20, 34, 23, backwards. 39, 22, backwards. 26, 47, 28, backwards. 52, 29, backwards. 59, 44, backwards. Okay, 93, 51, backwards. Yeah, I'm going to say no to NVO. The only reason is there's no consistency to the profits, none whatsoever. Now, consistent profitability be something like this, 1, 3, 4, 7, 8, 11, 15, 17, 19, 22, 28, higher and higher and higher. Not so here, 52 to 29. That's almost a 50% drop. Then it goes to 59. Then it drops to 44, another big drop. Then it goes to 93. Then it drops to 51. Yeah, no thank you. Consistency of profitability. Okay, there's over 10,000 stocks available. And I know that NVO is not a dividend king. It's not a dividend aristocrat. It's not a dividend champion. It's not a dividend contender. And it's not even on Warren Buffett's list. So why would I want to look at it? Now, for me, now you guys can do whatever you want. Now, you give me a stock, I'll take a look at it, and I'll give you my opinion. And it's just my opinion because I have a certain way of trading, and that's it. I try not to do that squirrel thing or shiny objects or the next hottest stock. No, I don't do that. I stick to companies that are consistently profitable and have weekly options. Those are the only ones I like. AMD, Advanced Micro Devices. I'm going to say no to that one also because we come up to AMD, and let's see the dividends that AMD pays out. Oh, look at that. There are no dividends in the selected time frame. So, Amrit, that's your name, Amrit. Okay, Amrit, you're new here. I'm really good with names, and I know when people have come here before. You're relatively new. AMD, you did not know that AMD does not fit. Okay, because the name of the show is Dividend Stock Talk. So the key word there being dividend. And AMD does not have any dividends. So right from the beginning, it's going to be a no. Okay, so the reason why I like dividend stocks is because they share their profits. I'm not looking for capital growth. So if you're looking to buy a stock and have it go from, let's take a quick look at something. Well, that's not really one I like, but let's see this one. This one, you guys will like this one. Everybody likes this one. Check that out. If you're looking to buy a stock down here low, it's like 16 bucks, and have it shoot up to 28. If you're looking for this is called capital appreciation. That's where you put your money into a stock and you just let it sit for years and years and years and wait and watch it grow and grow and grow for some time in the future. Well, my future is here, is now. And the reason why I say that is when you retire, and you all will at some point, you will retire. And as the only species on this planet, we humans, we got to pay to live here. Nobody's footing my bills. I got to foot my own bills. Okay. I don't have a sugar mama. I don't rely on the government to give me handouts. No, I'm responsible for my own self. So all the money I have accumulated in my working years, now I've been working since 1973, for some of you who weren't even born back then, okay, I'm ready to retire. Okay, I retired 2 years ago, and I think I was 59 when I retired. Okay, I'm a little too young for Social Security, and believe me, I took a look at what I'm eligible to get for Social Security. It's not even going to pay my phone bill and my electric bill, so I'm not relying on it. I have to rely on my own investment skills. And this is the choice you're going to have. You have two choices. And don't let anyone tell you otherwise. There's two and only two. Okay? Flip a coin. Heads you win, tails you lose. Okay? Two choices. Choice number one, learn, take responsibility for your own money and invest it yourself. That's number one. Number two, I don't care. Give it to someone else. Let them do it for you. Two choices. Do it yourself. Pass responsibility to someone else. And I can almost guarantee nobody has more interest in your money than you. So if you give your money to someone else to take care of for you, yeah, you're going to have an issue. So not a big deal. If you got tons and tons of money and you can live off 2 or 3% per year, you're good to go. Unfortunately, however much money you think I have, I don't. I have enough to take care of my bills, and I live comfortably. Okay? All right, let's keep going. So AMD is going to be a no. They don't have any dividends, so I'm going to say no to that one. Blur, sir, I'm here again, and I'm really thinking about buying some stocks right now, but I know little. Well, at least you know enough to know that you don't know enough. A lot of people just jump in and think they know stuff. Milton Friedman, 101. No idea who Milton Friedman is. Sorry. Jamal, thank you for the rose. That was very nice of you. Let's keep on keeping on. What else do we have here? Ticker BREA. What the heck is that? Well, let's take a look at it. BREA. Okay. I'm game. BREA. Bree. Hell no. That was pretty quick, wasn't it? Now, John, the reason why I said no to BREA, number one, it doesn't have any options at all. So when I say I want weekly options, apparently you didn't hear that part. And that's okay. You know, you're new here, so it's perfectly okay. Blur. Any tips or anything? Okay, Blur, here's my tip. You ready? It's a pretty good one. Don't stick your head out too far. It might go home in another car. That's pretty sure that's not what you were looking for, but okay. Paul, James, Matthew, absolutely works. I'm highly recommend his morning class. I'm way up more than the major indexes. Oh, Paul, I'm glad that you're doing well. Cool beans. Can't wait to see what my Christmas present looks like this year, dude. Anyway, now I'm glad it's working out for you, Paul. Please keep on going. Robinson Ezra. Why do you like those three stocks? Elaborate. Okay. User 9510068866667. Blur, can you look at a certain brand stock I'm thinking of investing in? Tesla. Now, I could take a look at it. You ready? Here we go. TSLA. Okay, there it is. My answer is no. Now, I'm not telling you not to do it. I'm saying I don't invest in Tesla. Now, the reason why I don't invest in Tesla has got nothing to do with Elon Musk at all. Nothing at all. Absolutely nothing. Okay? I don't do Tesla because it does not have dividends. Now, there's a reason why I like dividends. Now, let me explain and see who grabs this and who grabs it really quick. Other than those that you've been here before. Okay, that's kind of cheating. Okay, this behind me is called an EX dividend calendar. Now, some of you that might be new may not know what an EX dividend calendar is. Let me briefly explain. Now, it's not proprietary. Okay, this is available almost anywhere. You just look online for an EX dividend calendar. What it is, it tells me when a stock is going to pay its dividend. All right, now I told you earlier there's over 10,000 different companies that you can invest in any single day. Now, I check every single week because every single week the number changes. Okay, now a couple of weeks ago it was 9,976. Well, now it's over 10,000. I believe it's 10,036, I think. Okay, but out of all those companies, who's profitable and who's not? Well, the reason to get in business in the first place is to provide a product or a service and to get paid for your ideas. I paid for bringing a product to the marketplace. That's why people get in business in the first place. Okay, great. So with 10,000 different companies to invest in, the big question is, why would you invest? No, I understand some people are in different phases in life. Okay, why would you invest in a company that's not consistently profitable? Well, as an old guy, all right, a lot of you call me a boomer. I'm not a boomer. I'm a Gen Xer. Okay, so to me, I really don't care. You know, I'm so much of a Gen Xer, I really honestly don't care. Okay, and that's one of our main traits. We want to be left alone, and we really don't care what you think. And it is what it is. Okay, I will tell you, it is what it is. You don't like it? Terribly sorry, I don't sugarcoat anything. There is no safe space. Okay, there is no kind words. There's only reality. You don't like it? Terribly sorry. Boo hoo. There's no participation trophy. None of that crap. Life is what it is, what you make of it. Okay? So let's keep on going. I like boomer stocks. Well, you can call them whatever you want. The way I look at it, if a company is consistently profitable for 2 decades or more, I will buy it. That's where I want to put my money. You can put your money anywhere you want because there's some people here, okay, that are under 50 or 60 years old and they are building their portfolios or they are just starting out. Perfectly acceptable for you guys to get into stocks that have capital appreciation as the number one goal for them. Well, for me, it's cash flow. That's it. My number one objective at this point in my life. I'm retired. You'll all get there eventually, and then you will see what I mean. When you're retired, you need money coming in because you got 2 choices. Okay? I'm either going to work for it, which I could go work at Walmart, be a greeter. Hi, welcome to Walmart. How are you doing today? How can I help you find anything? I could do that. I could. I can work at Home Depot. Oh, you're looking for 2x4s. Yeah, 8-foot 2x4s are down this way, but you get a better deal if you do 2x3s, and then you can get the pressure treat. Yeah, I can do that also. I can do a lot of things. Okay, I'm tired of working. I've been working since 1973. So I'm entitled. I put my 40 or 50 years in. All right, so that being said, let's keep on moving forward. So depending on what it is you're looking for, are you looking for capital growth? Are you looking for your money to increase every year? Well, that's one thing. Are you looking for cash flow? Now, there's a lot of people out there that are getting to that point of being retired or getting close to it or thinking about it. Well, great. Are you going to do it yourself or are you going to give your money to someone else to do for you? Because you're limited on what you're going to get back if you give it to someone else. Because there's a lot of rules, a lot of restrictions, what you can and cannot do, and what they can and cannot do. All right? All right, so the reason I like dividend stocks. Now, as I was saying, this is an EX dividend calendar. It tells me when the stocks, these little green dots, Procter & Gamble, Hormel, McKesson, Nucor, Ben Franklin, Cardinal Health, O Realty, AbbVie, Abbott Labs, Procter & Gamble, blah, 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 those little companies, okay? It tells me when they're going to pay their dividend. So why is that important to me? Okay, stocks move for 2 reasons and 2 reasons only. I like facts. I really do. It's light or it's dark. It's cold or it's hot. It's right or it's left. North, south. Okay, I like facts. Okay, fact. Each one of these companies pays a dividend every 90 days. So Lowe's is paying a dividend on the 23rd of April, which is a couple of weeks away. Great. Well, after they pay this dividend, in 90 days, they're going to pay another one. And guess what? 90 days after that, they're going to pay another one. And they've been doing it for over 5 decades. Now, Lowe's, L-O-W, is one of those companies called a dividend king. Okay, and you can, just by what the name implies, dividend king, means they've increased their dividend payments to their shareholders for more than 5 consistent decades. So if I look at the dividend history of Lowe's, each and every number will be higher and higher and higher. That's what I'm looking for. Dividend kings, 50 years or more of increased dividends. Dividend aristocrats, 25-year of increased dividends. Dividend champions, 25 years of increased dividends. Rules are a little bit different than the aristocrats. And then we have the dividend contenders, 300 companies that have consistently increased their dividends from 10 to 24 years. And for the fun of it, just for the fun of it, we're going to throw in Warren Buffett's list. Because we all know Warren Buffett's, he's the Oracle of Omaha, whatever. All right, so that being said, each one of these pays out a dividend, okay, for more than 20, see it right up here? 25 plus years of dividend increases, all these companies, more than 25 years. I'll buy any one of them. Why? Because they're consistently profitable for more than a quarter of a century, which means it's not a new startup. Don't get me wrong, new startups have their place. You get what, 1 in 1,000 will go from a nickel to a couple of $100. 1 in 1,000, and you think you can get it, fine, more power to you. I like consistency, I like predictability, I like cash flow, and I like safety. Those are the things I'm looking for. I have no desire to go back to work. And I'm pretty much okay with the 1% that I bring in every single week. So what do I mean by 1%? Hypothetically speaking, if I have $100,000 in my account, 1% would be $1,000 every single week. Now, if I had $50,000, 1% every week would be $500. If I had $20,000, 1% every week would be $200. Mama Apple, what's good evening? Good evening, good evening. So depending on what you're looking for, you'll either benefit or you won't. Okay, this is either for you or it's not. It's one or the other. Okay, but either way, you're not going to hurt my feelings. I've been doing this for over 20 years. The only reason why you're seeing it now is because somebody was stupid enough to say, hey, point the camera, press go, and there you have it. You know? But years ago, I did all my trades and I posted all my trades online through a blog post. I don't remember if you guys remember back in the early 2000s, like from 2008, 2009, 2010, 2000. Yeah, those years, I was actually logging in through a blog post and I shared all my trades then. Wait, let me see, where is it? If I can show it to you. If I can show it to you. There it is right there. Let's go to there. Oh, by the way, here is my website. This is all my social media. You guys all know that kind of stuff. But underneath that, these are all my trades for 2024. I share them all. So let's go. I want to go all the way down to the bottom. Where is it? I can't see it. Damn it. All right, all the way down to the bottom. Because I share 3 accounts. You guys can see every single trade that I do. And you'll see what the profits are, the losses, whatnot, so on and so forth. What is this? Week 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5. That's 3, 2, 1, 0. Okay, so right here. Okay, this is what my blog post used to look like. Now, this is just a screenshot of my old blog post. Starting date, August 31st, 2011. That's when I first started, when I first came across, when I first created the strategy for my daughter back in 2008. It wasn't until 2011 I started sharing. Okay? I averaged 9.75 per month in 2011. Then in 2012, it was only 8% per month. And in 2013, it dropped down to 3% per month. Well, here we are nowadays. Now I'm averaging 1% a week. Well, that's pretty good. So 50% per year. But you can see my blog posts. July 6, 2013. What do we have here? December 11th, 2011. 31,000 in profits, 39% of 82,000 starting money. Our commissions are close to 10%. We will be working on lower that in the upcoming year. Blah, blah, blah. What's this one? January 1st, 2012. Year to date, blah, 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 blah. Okay, all that interesting stuff. But that was years ago. Nowadays, okay, we're doing video. Oh my goodness, look at that video. That's an old one. That one, 11 years ago. Look at that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 screens. Back, how long ago was that? 11 years ago. The10MinuteTrader.com. I still have the same website. My website, if you check a look at it, it's been active for over 15 years. Anyway, let's get out of that. You guys don't want to see that stuff. Back to the 2025 trades. Here we go. 2025 trades. There we go. All right. Back to where we go. Let's take a look. So the reason why I like dividend stocks specifically, just before the dividend date, okay, here it is on the 23rd. I will buy lows 2 weeks before the dividend, okay, which would be Tuesday the 7th, Monday the 7th. Now, I didn't buy it this week because I didn't anticipate. Nobody anticipated the drop on Thursday, Friday, and Monday. So, yeah, it didn't look that enticing. All right? So, that being said, 2 weeks before the EX date, Lowe's has a tendency to go up in price. So, if I know the stock's going to go up in price just before the EX dividend date, Now you might be asking, what's the EX dividend date? Well, with dividend stock, there's 4 dates to remember. 4. Date number 1 is the announcement date. Good evening, everyone. My name is James from Dividend Stock Talk. This is how much money we made this year, and this is when we're going to pay out a dividend. This is what kind of dividend you're going to get and when you're going to get it. The announcement date, date number 1. Date number 2, the EX dividend date. That's the last day the stock trades before the dividend is paid out. And that, my friends, is represented by these little green dots. General Dynamic, Roper, Colgate-Palmolive, Lowe's, Clorox, Bow Realty, West, Abbott Labs, AbbVie, blah, 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 blah. All those companies. Date number 3, the date of record. Whoever owns the stock on the date of record is entitled to the dividend. So the Clorox dividend, $1.22. Lowe's dividend, $1.15. Announcement date, EX dividend date, date of record, and date number 4, the payment date. That's when you actually get your money. Okay, 4 dates. Announcement date, EX dividend date, date of record, payment date. The EX dates are represented by these little green dots. So if I take all those companies I like, Dividend Kings, Dividend Aristocrats, Dividend Champions, Dividend Contenders, blah, 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 put them all into the calendar by when they pay their dividend, that will give me an idea of what stocks to look at when. Now, these are all the dividends stocks that are available. 136. I can't even count how many's there. 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, 24, 27, 9, 4, 8, 12, 16, so on and so forth. Each day has a whole bunch of different stocks available to invest in. So which ones do I like? I like those companies that are consistently profitable with 25 to 50 years of increased dividends. Because if the dividend increases, so do the profits. Because you cannot give somebody a higher dividend unless the profits are higher. Because a dividend is a portion of the profits that the company shares with the investors. Okay, now you could, if you wanted to, take a look at BMO or SIGA, and you could take a look at 20 years worth of annual reports or quarterly reports. Have at it. Enjoy. Or you can say, the hell with that. If a portion of the profits is a dividend and the dividend increases, well, logic, reason, and common sense says the profits have to increase in order for the dividends to increase. It's that simple. So I don't even bother reading the annual reports. Did they increase their profitability this year? Well, are they giving a higher dividend this year? Well, yeah. Well, if they're giving a higher dividend, it means they made more money this year. It's actually that simple. I don't know why people want to complicate things. All right, so that's why I do dividend stocks and dividend stocks only. Because by knowing when a stock is going to move, well, that's only a small portion of the puzzle. Because it's an important part of the puzzle. Because if I'm looking at BMO and it has a dividend on the 29th and it consistently increases in price just before the dividend, 2 weeks before the dividend, I want to look at it on the 14th. Is it a good deal or not? Okay? And if it is going to go up, well, great. What do you do with that information? Think about it. If you knew a stock was going to go up, but you didn't know how much, but it usually always goes up just before the dividend date, how would you use that information? No answers? If you knew a stock was going to move up, what would you do? Would you buy the stock? Would you buy an option? Would you do an option trade, an option spread, a calendar spread, a covered call, a back ratio spread? What would you do? Where is your biggest bang for the buck? But also safe and predictable. So you have a trade-off. You can go for big profits, or you can go with consistency and profitability and safety. So at 61, being retired, well, I'm going for safety, predictability, and consistency. That's what I'm going for. Sorry, I'm no longer adventurous. If you're looking for someone who's going to show you a stock that might jump up and go through the roof, yeah, you're in the wrong place. Terribly sorry. So let's go answer some more of these questions. Christian, what do I think about Dollar Tree? Okay, Blur says, can you look at a certain stock interested in, okay, Tesla? Yeah, no, I don't do Tesla, and I just gave you the reason why I don't. I'll be back. No, I definitely won't. Okay, so Christian wants to take a look at Dollar Tree. I love Dollar Tree. Okay, Dave Hutter says he don't like Dollar Tree. Terribly sorry for you, dude. Oh, not the stock. Well, you do have to realize there's actually hundreds upon hundreds upon hundreds of Dollar Trees. The one that you're talking about may be run by someone who's not very nice. I don't know. But let's take a look at it as a opportunity for an investment. Now, I remember a couple of years ago where people were avoiding Target because some of the choices that management made. Now, Target is one of those companies that's over 100 years old, and they are a dividend king, which means they have been consistently profitable for more than 5 decades. Why the current CEOs and the powers that be decided to do what they did a few years ago, that DEI crap. Oh, yeah, so you love Target. Yeah, why they did is beyond me. But they consistently are profitable and they consistently increase their dividends. So DLTR, Dollar Tree, here we go. All right, so let's take a look at Dollar Tree. Okay, here's the high of the year. Here's the low of the year. Here's where it was a year ago. Here's where it is now. Now I'm looking for 5 things, you know. So what is it doing? Drops, going sideways. That's the big picture. That's the 1-year chart. That's the first thing I want to look at. There's a reason for that. I don't want to buy it at the high of the year, which this is not. I don't want to buy it at the low of the year, which this is not. This is somewhere in between. Okay, so let's see what it's doing. But before I see what it's doing, is it going to be a good investment? Now, we're in an interesting situation at this moment in time for a couple of reasons. Reason number one, well, you had the panic selling for the past couple of days. Okay, we're not going to get to normality or normalcy. What president was that? Was that FDR? Let's get back to normalcy. Not really a word, but normalcy. So one issue was the panic selling. Now, people sell when they're panicking because people are telling them to panic and the world's going to end. Well, I remember this last week. Oh, Donald Trump is doing this. The world's going to end. But no, the world's not going to end. It's going to be a little uncomfortable and people are going to lose money. Those who panic and sell at a loss. Okay, fine. For those people. Reason number 2. Tomorrow's Wednesday. Halfway through the week. So my main strategy is buy a stock, sell a covered call against it. Because the trading strategy I was telling you about, hold a second. When you know a stock is going to move in the next week or 2 or 3, because the dividend's coming up, certain things you can plan for. You can plan for earnings reports. You can plan for dividends because it is a consistent scenario that happens every 90 days. Okay, because they pay a dividend every 90 days. So just before the dividend, stock goes up. So what do? My main strategy is a covered call. It's simple, it's safe, it's easy, it's predictable, and it's consistent. Okay, granted, it's not going to give me 20, 30, 40, 50, 100% return. It's not what I'm looking for. I'm looking for safety, consistency, and predictability. So the covered call gives me all of that, right? It's safe. It's one of the safest strategies there is. And it is consistent because I can do it every single week. 11 April, that's this week. 17 April, that's next week. 25 April, that's 2 weeks from now. 2 May, 3 weeks from now. 9 May, 4 weeks from now. Every week, I can trade this in a safe, predictable trading strategy. And that's the covered call. You buy the stock, you sell an option against it. If I own the stock, I can do whatever I want with it. I sell it to someone else for the same price I paid for it, and I collect what's called a premium every single week. Now, even though the name of the show is called Dividend Stock Talk or Dividend Investing for Weekly Cash Flow, there's more to it than just those words, because there's also weekly stock options. The weekly stock options is where I get my weekly cash flow from. Now, the dividend stock is where I get my safety from. Because if a company has been consistently profitable for more than 2 decades, well, odds and probabilities are telling me that normally business as usual, it's going to be doing the same thing. Here's a for instance. Now, when I was a young lad, okay, in the 70s, we would walk from the house to the corner store, and we could get a soda for a nickel. But that was like a quarter-mile walk, and we were 5, 6, 7 years old. Who does a 6 or 7-year-old go for a quarter-mile walk to buy a soda for a nickel? Okay, fine. That's what we did. Coca-Cola has been making Coca-Cola since the 1800s. All through the 1900s, they made Coca-Cola. Guess what? They are still making Coca-Cola. So my assumption, and this is just an assumption, I could be wrong, but I like to think that I'm not. I'm thinking long after I'm gone, they're probably still going to be making Coca-Cola. Because here's the thing. General Electric has been producing electricity for over 100 years. And what are they doing now? Well, they're still producing electricity. And, how about Consolidated Edison? Consolidated Edison, they do electricity. Same thing. But they've been doing it for over 200 years. I believe that they're the oldest stock in the stock market, Consolidated Edison. They are a dividend stock. They do pay dividends. They've been in business for over 200 years. Do you really think they're going to stop and say, yeah, let's not do this anymore. Let's do this instead? No. They started and they've done it for over 200 years. Long after I'm gone, Consolidated Edison's probably going to do the exact same thing. Coca-Cola is probably going to make Coca-Cola long after I'm gone. So why not jump into a stock, into a company that has seen a lot of crap that these companies have seen? World War I, World War II, Korea, Vietnam, Afghanistan, Iraq, Desert Storm, all that crap that happened over there. Let's not forget that other minor stuff too. I'm having an issue over on Facebook. It's time for a new phone over there. Now, also, along with all that crap, what else have they seen? Well, they've seen the stock market crashes, 29, 87, 2000, 08. There's probably something between 1929 and 1987. It's just that the 1929 one everybody knows about because it was so huge. Well, I lived through the crash of 87, the crash of 2000, crash of 2008, the crash of 2021, and whatever else is coming next. I'm living through that one. So those ones I know. What else have they seen? They've seen a lot of crap over the last 100 years. So why is it you think that they're not going to continue doing business as usual? So if I buy the stock, I sell the option against it, I get 1%. 1% every week is over 50% per year. Now, I'm pretty much okay with it. Because if I have $100,000 in my account, 50% is $50,000 a year. And if I have my account set up just right, I don't have to pay taxes. If I have my account set up right. So you guys got to set up your account your way, whatever you think is right. And it is perfectly legal to avoid paying taxes. I did not say evade. There's a big difference. They sound the same, have some of the same letters. Avoid is legal. Evade is illegal. So you got to figure out how to set up your account your way so you don't have to pay much tax, unless you like paying. Some people enjoy paying taxes. Some don't, some do. I had a friend of mine, he said, I had no problem whatsoever paying $125,000 in taxes. I said, yeah, that's because you made over $1 million. So it's all in reference. Anyway, let's keep on going. So DLTR, the high, the low, where was it? Where is it? What's the motion? Down, sideways. Here we are right here, 69.70. Where do we think it's going next? Before we even do that, does it sound like a company I want to buy and hold? I don't know. Let's figure it out. The current price is 69.47. Okay? So the closest strike price for this week is going to be the 70. But the 70 is going for 149. That's 2%. 2%. And how many days do we get left? We have 3 days. Okay? 3 days till expiration. And the 70 is going for over 2%. Well, look at this one. This 70 here is going over close to 5%. I don't know. Would you take, I'd do this one first and then do this one. But look at the number. That's freaking crazy. But 1% a week is over 50% per year. 2% a week is over 100% a year. If you can get 2% every single week, that's over 100%. Okay? Now, I don't know. Are you okay with that? Now, what do you do to get that? Well, it takes 5 or 10 minutes a day. Okay, you get up in the morning, brush your teeth, have your breakfast, take your shower, whatever. And then you sit in front of your computer and you ask yourself a couple of simple questions. What did I buy this week? Hold on, let me find a better chart. Okay, so APD. What's APD at? APD. Okay, I got it at 240. Now it's at this. Okay, what are we looking at? 15. Nice numbers. Am I at risk of losing? Am I going to make a nice amount of money? What is going on? It's not that difficult. It should take no more than 5 to 10 minutes to see what did you buy. Okay, so let's say hypothetically you got Ford, General Motors, AT&T, IBM. Let's say you got those four. How long does it take to take a look at Ford? Okay, well, Ford, high, low, was, is, where's it going? Okay, great. What's the last couple of days look like? Because that's my main concern. What are the last couple of days? Because the stock is going to move in a certain direction. Well, here's the last couple of days right here. She jumps up, pulls back. Okay, we're currently at 869. Is that a good thing? I don't know. Now, I have some Ford at 970. Currently, it's at 860. What does that mean? It doesn't really mean anything. What did I buy it at? Well, I bought it at 970. Well, right now it's at 860. What does that mean? Doesn't mean anything. Okay, did I sell a covered call against it to bring in some cash? Yes, I did. I sold the 10s. Well, what did I pick up? Well, right now it's only worth 2 cents. All right, well, next week it's worth 6 cents. Okay. Even though it doesn't sound like a lot, can't continue live video, something went wrong, your live broadcasting failed, blah, 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 please try again. Okay, so much for Facebook. Is it Facebook or is it the phone? I don't know. Maybe I need to get a new phone. All right, so that being said, let's get back to Dollar Tree. DLTR. All right, so last 90 days for Dollar Tree. Okay, here's our last 90 days. 72, she jumps up to 80 for the high, drops down to 62 for the low. Back up again, back down, and now back up again. All right, what's the last 30 days look like? Here's the last 30 days for Ford. Okay, 30 days ago, it's 68, dropped down to 62, jumps up to 79, okay, drops down to 62 again, and then Monday, she gaps up. Tuesday, she's up again, but now she pulled back a little bit. So this is where we are right now. Now, does it make sense? Okay, now, do you like Dollar Tree? This is a big question. Do you like Dollar Tree? And are you willing to hold on to Dollar Tree however long it takes for you to hit your target? Okay, what is your target? Well, at this moment in time, my target is 70 bucks. Right now, it's at 69.70, which was the last traded price today. So let's see what a covered call would look like for Dollar Tree. Okay, let's get rid of this. Let's change this right here. So we're looking at a covered stock. So I'm going to buy the stock, sell the option. The 70 right here, okay, buy that one. Now I only want to do one contract, so I got to change these numbers over there. And then I want to change it from a market order to a limit order. Market or limit order to market order. Facebook isn't responding. Okay. All right. So that being said, here is the trade. Okay. Now, I love Thinkorswim. Now, Thinkorswim is offered through Charles Schwab. Charles Schwab is one of the biggest trading platforms there is. So let's read it and hear what it says. Buy one covered call of Dollar Tree, 100, that's the weekly, 11 April 25. That means it's going to expire this coming Friday. The $70 call option against the Dollar Tree stock at the market to order, to open. Here's my profit, 314. Here's what it's going to cost, 6,600. So what does that come to? Let's find out. Okay, so let's find out. So we're going to take our calculator and we take our maximum profit, 314. Okay, 314. And then we're going to divide it. See, here's our maximum profit, 314. Cost of trade, including commissions and fees, 6,686. What is our rate of return? Okay, divided by 6,686. That's 4.69%. Okay, now a couple of questions you need to ask yourself. Number one is, does it make sense? Okay. Dollar Tree, do I buy it? Sell somebody the right. Now, see, if I'm buying it at $69.70, that means I own it. It's mine to do with whatever I please. If I decide to sell it for somebody the exact same, I'm buying and selling at the exact same time. I have no desire to hold on to it. I'm okay with holding on to it if I have to. But my ultimate goal is to get that 1% safely every single week. Well, Dollar Tree is up for consideration. All right, so what do the numbers look like? Does it make sense? Okay, so there's my profit. That's what it's going to cost. Okay, the current price is $69.70. Now, so the bunch of questions you're asking yourself is, does it make sense? That's number one. Number one, does it make sense? Number two, do I like this stock at this current price? Having issues with Facebook over here. Do I like this stock at this current price? Am I willing to hold on to it until it hits my target? Well, my target is 70 bucks. It's only 30 cents away. Could it hit it? Yeah, it could. So what happens if it hits it? Well, somebody pays me $70 a share. I get all my money back. I get to keep this premium. I also get to keep the difference between $69.70 and 70, which is an additional 30 cents. And I know it doesn't sound like a lot of money. It doesn't when you're saying one share. But no, one contract is 100 shares. So it's not 30 cents, it's 30 bucks per contract. So if you buy 10 contracts, it's not $30, it's $300. So if you buy 1,000 contract, it's not $30, it's not $300, it's $3,000. Okay, so the more you buy, the more it works. But I'm still looking for the 1%. So 1% of 1,000 is 1%. 1% of 1,000,000 is still 1%. Okay. Day herd. Good time to T-bill and chill. Oh, hell no. Facebook sucks. Yep. Not the stock. Okay. Why is it a she? Because it's temperamental and difficult to figure out. I like the stock at a lower price. Doesn't everybody? Still wouldn't buy though. All right, Dave. Not a problem. No, I don't tell people what to do. Holy shit, 98 questions. Wow, we got a ways to go. What chart did you just brought up? That was Dollar Tree. M. Donnie, what's happening? All right, let's get out of there. Let's get out of there. Let's get out of there. Let's change this back to that. Let's go over to here and back where we started. Imagine that. Okay, user 259986341. Good evening. Success with Shannon. Good evening, Miss Shannon, and how are you today? Kato Wiz, how do we sell a call if our covered call for the previous week didn't hit? All right, Kato Wiz. Do you see the date? 11 April 25. All right, so if you own the stock Dollar Tree and you sell this option here, this one, 11 April 25 at the $70, because right now it's at 69.70. Okay. If it doesn't hit on Friday, it expires worthless. Now you can do another covered call. Okay. So this one expires this coming Friday. This one expires next Friday. So if this one doesn't fill, well, you sell this one and you pick up another premium. So buy the stock, pick up a premium. If it doesn't fill, sell another premium. If that doesn't fill, sell another one. If that doesn't fill, sell another. You keep doing it over and over and every week. Once you own the stock, you can do whatever you want with it. And if you want to sell a covered call against it every single week, you can. That's exactly what I do. I have had Harley Davidson, I believe. Let me think. Hold on. August. I've had Harley Davidson since August 21st. Okay, the nice thing about Harley Davidson is just the Harley Davidson stock itself. I think I got $650 for it this week. Okay, so I get anywhere between $500 and $1,200 every single week just from Harley Davidson. So I get a whole bunch of other stocks. I get a weekly cash flow every single week. That's what I'm doing, and that's what I'm sharing here with you guys for free. I'm not charging anyone. I'm not going to try. There will not be a, hey, you got to buy this offer at the end of this. There won't be. I'm not trying to sell anyone anything. Okay, do I have stuff to sell? Yes, I do. You're all big kids. You know how to do it. You know how it works. So, Cato, that's what happens. If your call didn't get exercised last week, you sell another one this week. If it doesn't get exercised this week, you sell another one next week. Then you sell another one the week after. Until you keep doing it every single week until it hits your target. At this moment in time, topic of conversation, Dollar Tree, dollar price we're talking about, $69.70. Tomorrow, that number is going to be different. Friday, that number is going to be different. It changes when the market is open every 2 or 3 seconds. Tall Texas Chick, good evening. LOL, can you do TMO? Well, LOL, TMO, what the heck is TMO? Too much octopus? All right, anyway. Thomas Fisher Scientific. Interesting. I'm going to go to Yahoo Finance just to, verify whether or not this thing actually has dividends on TMO. And are they consistently profitable? Because I've never heard of them. Okay, if I've never heard of them, there's a couple of excellent reasons why. Couple. And that's the reason right there. Look at the dividends. 2001, 82 cents. November 2001, $2.52. Well, there is no 2002, 2003, 2004, nothing until 2012. But then the dividends go something like this. 13, 15, look, it's 15. Cool, so 2012, it's 13. And then 2013, it's 15. 2014, it's 15. 2016, it's 15. 2017 is 15. So what is that? 4 years with no increasing whatsoever, and it's not 20 years of consistent profitability. Goes to 17 to 19 to 22 to 26 to 30 to 35 to 39 to 43. Okay, so for the past 13 years, it's not bad. But you got to ask yourself the question, am I okay with it even though it's only had 13 years of increased dividends? That's a big question. Bryce, how are you today? Okay, Tom. Now, have you heard of CoreWeave? Nope, haven't heard of it. All right, so LOL, you got to ask yourself, do I like this company, even though it doesn't have 20 years of increased dividends? So that's the question you need to ask. Me, it's going to be a no for me. I'm pretty strict at what I do. Okay, so look at the numbers. A year ago, we're at 586. Okay, the high of the year was in the beginning of September, 628. Well, look at the last 90 days. Okay, here's your last 90 days. The high, the low, where was it, where is it? Look at it, up, down. That's it. Up, down. Now we're here. What's going on next? I don't know. See, today, we're a little bit higher than yesterday. That's 1 day to the upside. But at $400 a share, $419 a share, I'm going to say no. It's 417, the 420s are going for $9. That's over 2%. Next week's $15. Well, that's over 3%. See, it all depends on what you want to do. I mean, do you want to buy a stock for $400 a share? That's up to you. I stay under myself. I stay under 250, but that's just me. Are we at the bottom of the stocks yet? No, JTB, we're not. LOL, LDOS. What the heck is LDOS? LDOS. So apparently this dude likes to pick up stuff I've never heard of. So I'm going to say no to this one right off the bat. I don't do monthlies. Okay, 17 April, 16 May, 15 August, 21 November. That's a monthly, which means I cannot get weekly cash flow on a monthly optional stock. So I'm going to say no to that one. Sorry, dude. What website do you use to look at charts? Okay, Crossroads. It's not a website. It's a trading platform. Okay, you can trade with E-Trade. You can trade with Charles Schwab. You can trade with any one of your banks, Fidelity, Webull, Robinhood. This is just a trading platform. That's all this is. Mostly peaceful riots. VIX and SKEW haven't been this high at the same time in 15 years. I'll stick with small puts and offsets the long term. Cool beans. Thoughts on TLT next couple of weeks? What the heck is TLT? TLT. Interesting. iShares 20+ year Treasury bond ETF. Yeah, no thank you. Sorry, dude. I don't do that. I only do dividend stocks. Ones that have been in business for over 5 decades. All right, what website do you use to look at the charts? We already answered that question. Bo wants to take a look at Delta Airlines. Didn't we look at that one yesterday? And we said it looked interesting? Tom. So what are your recommendations on dividends? Okay, Tom, I don't make recommendations, and I don't tell people what to do. I take a look at what you want me to take a look at, and then you give my interpretation based on what I do. Now, I'm looking for a simple, safe, predictable, consistent 1% per week with no ways for me to lose. That's what I'm looking for. Safety, predictability, consistency of profitability. That's what I'm looking for. All right. So, Bo, Delta Airlines, here we go. 5 things. High, low, was, is. Look at this. Up, down, up, down, up, down. What's going on here? Looking for a new bottom. Have we found it yet? I like 2 days of the upside after finding a bottom. And just in case you didn't know, The high, 70 bucks. Right now, 35. That is a 50% drop. If you are not ready for a 50% drop, you shouldn't be playing this game. Also, if you're playing this game and you're playing on margin, be very leery of 50% drops. It can wipe out 100% of your money. Because a margin account means half the money is yours, half the money belongs to your broker. And if you buy it at 70 and it drops down to 35, guess what? You didn't lose half your money. You lost all your money if you have a margin account. Because remember, half the money is yours, half the money belongs to the broker. So if you buy at 70 and it drops to 35, you didn't lose half the broker's money. You lost zero of the broker's money because they will take their money out before this will happen. Yeah, so be very leery. I always tell people every night, do not use a margin account unless you are ready for what comes with it. And it is risky, and you can lose a shitload. Okay, I got 4 margin calls in the last 5 days. Okay, I got 2 on Monday, and I got 2 today. But I'm used to it. I'm okay with it because I've been doing this long enough, and I don't panic. What did I do? I went and I sold something, or I went and I put some more money in, one or the other. But all my other 5 accounts, well, they have plenty of cushion, so I don't have to worry about those. So in a time like today, like nowadays, yeah, I have a little bit more margin cushion than normally. Because normally I have 90 to 95% of all my money invested, including margin money. But now with things going on, I have a little bit of a cushion to avoid scenarios. All right, so Delta Airlines. A year ago, we're at 47. Jumps up, drops, shoots back up. Look at the last 90 days. The last 90 days is the last 3 months. Here's the high, drops, back up, back down. Look at, we have 2 days up so far. We had the bottom on Friday, Monday was higher, Tuesday was higher. That's 2 days to the upside. Is it a good time to jump into Delta Airlines? Well, let's take a closer look. Okay, the last 30 days, right about here. Okay, this is your last 30 days. Drops, retrace, drops again. Okay, the bottom was on Friday. Monday was higher. Today was higher. Okay, what's going to happen tomorrow? Now, that's a very good question. Does it look like it's a good setup? Well, it's already had a 50% drop. Here was the bottom. Now, this could very well be the bottom of the year. It could be. Okay, the only way we're going to tell is when they have more and more and more days to come afterwards, which only time will tell. So tomorrow evening after the market closes, we will see if we have 3 days to the upside, and there's an opportunity to jump in. That's my goal. My goal is 2 days to the upside on a 30-day bottom, which was Friday. Monday was higher, Tuesday was higher. So if tomorrow is higher, that for me would be a perfect opportunity to jump in if the numbers work. What do the numbers look like? Well, the current price right now, 35.88, so I'll be looking at the 36s. The 36 is going for 192. Are you kidding me? That's over 3%. But do you like Delta Airlines? That's a big question. And are you willing to jump into Delta Airlines at 35.88 and hold on to it for however long it takes to hit your strike price? Well, what is your target? What's your goal? Well, at this moment in time, at 35.88, it's most likely going to be the 36. The 36 is paying 192. Now, 192, that's a nice premium if you like Delta Airlines. And that's always the big if, that 2-letter word, big. If you like it, does it make sense? Mostly peaceful riots. GL subbed. Hope to catch you next time. GL. Globe Life. That's a monthly. So no, I don't do monthlies. But GL is Globe Life. And it's on Warren Buffett's list, as a matter of fact. All right, so anyway, that's Delta Airlines. So for the fun of it, let's do a covered call on Delta Airlines at 36. Change this to covered stock like that. The 36 right there. Okay. Now, I just want to do one contract because I have mine preset for 10, and not everybody can afford 10. Here it is. Buy one covered call at Delta Airlines. 100, that's the weeklies. 11 April 25. That means we got 3 days until this option expires. Okay? The $36 call option against the Delta stock at the market to open. Alrighty, what's my profit? My profit's 177. What is that costing me? 3,400. Well, let's get the calculator to figure out what kind of rate of return is that. 177.50 divided by cost of the trade, including commissions and fees. $3,423.17 comes to a grand total of 5.1%. Well, that's an awful big premium, and don't think that this is a normal premium, because with this much volatility in the market, yeah, the market makers are giving big premiums. Big premium, not normal at all. The normal premium is somewhere between 1 and 2%, not 5%. But still, do you like Delta Airlines? Do you like Delta Airlines at this current price? And are you okay with owning Delta Airlines for the rest of your life, or until it hits 36, whichever comes sooner? Whichever comes sooner. Radfit, how are you today, Radfit? Now would be a good time to take your money out of the market and give it to your children so they can buy a home and invest in a family and a trade business. Oh, Radfit, that's awful wonderful for you to tell me how to spend my money. Believe it or not, Radfit, I have 4 kids. Okay? Actually, 3.5. One's adopted. Okay? 3. Now, the 2 boys, they've already bought houses. And yes, I did help them buy their houses. I gave them half the money that they needed. Now, my 2 daughters, they're not quite ready to buy a house yet. But when they are ready, they have a choice. Wedding or a house. They're not getting both. The boys didn't get both. They got one or the other, a wedding or a house. It's their choice. But I do not like it when people tell me what to do with my money. But I appreciate that you're concerned for me to try to help me out. I appreciate it. But I'm going to politely decline. Thank you. Matt, hey James, how are you doing, buddy? Matt, I'm doing wonderful. Alrighty. So Bo, that was Delta Airlines. Hope you liked it. LOL wants to take a look at IBM. Deliked a computer. Okay. IBM. Let's take a gander at IBM. IBM. So anyway, Radfit, just for your curiosity, why is it you want to control my life? Because if I take all my money out of the market, I would have to go get a job and get back to work. Why should I have to do that if I don't want to? Okay? The money I make in the stock market every single week allows me to not have to go to work. See? So I appreciate your concern for my well-being, but you should probably ask more detailed information about me before giving me advice on how to live my life. But I do appreciate your concern. IBM. Oh, wait a second. We didn't even look at the chart yet. The chart for IBM. Ooh, here it is. Here's the high. Here's the low. Here's where it was. Here's where it is. Look at the movement. Down, up, down, up, down, up, down. Okay, just like everything else, pulled back from what happened. So what's going to go on? All right, so a year ago, we're at 190. Now, we bottomed out in the beginning of May at 162.90. Look at the last 90 days. Okay, the last 90 days. Here's dropped here. Here's the bottom. Big jump up. Here's the top. Comes back down. Now we're back down here again. All right. That being said, the last 30 days right there. So here's the last 30 days. 30-day high, down, up, down, up, down, up, down. Now, Monday is the bottom. Tuesday was higher, but she closed lower than she opened. It was a nice gap up this morning. Well, small gap up this morning, but it closed lower than she opened up. Matt, that is good. I got a question. What if I invest 150 bucks in a share and the market drops under 150? What's the best advice you could give someone what to do in this example? Okay, so Matt, here's the thing. Your question was, you're concerned if you buy something at 150 and it drops, what do you do? I'm not quite sure. What do you mean, what do you do? You don't do anything. Number one, you never buy anything unless you're willing to hold on through it through thickest way. Look at it this way. Do you, Matt, take IBM to be your lawfully wedded stock for the rest of your life? Do you promise to love, honor, obey, and take care of IBM stock for the rest of your life? You're getting it at 221 or 150, whatever, through good or bad, through highs and lows, regardless of what happens. That's what you're doing. You're putting your money into a company that you're hoping will be there to give you cash flow on a consistent weekly basis. If you're thinking you're buying something for 150 and it's going to drop, well, then don't buy it. This is not a game for the for the thin-skinned. Stocks can drop 50 to 70 to 80% from when you bought. So take a look at IBM. Let's back it up a little bit. Okay, the high of the year is 266. The low of the year is 160. Not quite a 50% difference, but still. Some companies you'll look at, hold on, Macy's. Whoops. Wait a minute. Macy's is one. Okay. 21 bucks. Now it's down to 10. That's a 50% drop. Now, this company's over 100 years old, and they have consistently increased their dividends until recently because the previous administration didn't want to prosecute theft, which put this company into a little bit of a situation, a lot of companies into an interesting situation because of the theft scenario over the last 4 years. Because you can check it out. Anything under $900, they do not want to prosecute. Not worth their time or effort. That was the stance, the official stance of the judicial system. If it's under $950, we don't want to deal with it. So a lot of people walked in to a lot of stores, stole a lot of shit, walked out, and then stores like this one, the stocks dropped. They had to close a bunch of stores because of the numbers were looking terrible in the second, third, and fourth quarter of last year. Well, new sheriff in town, he ain't gonna fall for that crap. You do something wrong, we're gonna prosecute you to the fullest extent of the law. That's his stance. Do you think things are gonna change? Well, yes, they are gonna change. Do you agree with him? Don't really care whether or not you agree with him. Okay? The previous administration did not want to prosecute theft of the $900. It's a fact. Okay? It's not my opinion, it's a fact. So, stores like Macy's, Kohl's, Nordstrom's, Walgreens, CVS, corner stores, small stores, had a huge amount of theft. Huge amount of stores were shut down because of that problem. Okay, so Macy's, 50% drop. So back to you again, Matty boy. If you are thinking a stock you buy for 150 drops 50%, now it's worth 75 bucks. What do? You don't do anything. Okay, you change your approach. You don't abandon it. You don't give it up. And you say, all right, this is a little too hard. No, this is a part of the game. Do you ever play Monopoly and you get stuck with, anything other than Boardwalk or State Street or those, you end up with those magenta ones. like Lionel Avenue. What does it pay? $10 every time you land on it. Either way, it's a game. You're buying it for 150 bucks. Make sure you like it at 150 bucks. And make sure you get it into your head. Never, ever, ever sell for less than 150 bucks. It defeats the whole purpose of the game. And it is a game. Okay, you're putting your money someplace and you're hoping to get some cash flow. Now, are you investing for weekly cash flow, kind of like what I'm doing? Or are you investing 150? I'll come back and look at it in another 30, 40 years to see what it's done. Okay, everybody has a different approach. My approach is specifically weekly cash flow. If I buy something for 150, I'm not selling it for anything less than 150. But I will sell a covered call every single week against it to bring money in. So this here, Macy's, it's at 10 bucks. The current $10 is going for 43 cents. That's 4%. Never does this thing give 4% on a weekly basis. It's giving 4% now because of the situation that we're in, because they're trying to attract new buyers. Is it going to drop? We don't know. We don't know when people are going to stop panicking, because that's what they're doing. They're panicking and they're selling. Okay, I'm not panicking. I'm not selling because I've been through this before. Not to this extreme. Now, remember the crash of 2000? Yeah, I was in the middle of that. Do you remember the crash of 08? I was in the middle of that also. Do you remember the crash of 2021? I was in the middle of that also. I didn't panic because it goes up, it goes down. It goes up, it goes down. A lot of people were in a big cash positions a couple of months ago. Well, what do you think of that? Why do you think they had all big fat chunks of cash? Because they knew something was coming. Well, here it is. Is it done? Are we in the middle of it? Are we at the end of it? Don't know. Only time will tell. But guess what? No matter what the Democrats said. Now, I need you to understand one thing before I finish up this sentence. I'm not a Democrat. I'm not a Republican. I'm what you might call a common senser. If it makes common sense, I'm all for it. I don't care who comes up with it. Honestly, don't care who's in the big chair. I don't. Does it make sense? Great, let's do it. Does it not make sense? Well, then don't do it. It's actually that simple. And I wish there was a third party. I don't want to go independent because they're a little wishy-washy. I like common sense, because if I go looking for a sunset and I'm heading east, I got a problem. Okay? Think about it. If I'm heading east looking for a sunset, I got a problem. Okay? Either it makes sense or it don't. Do you like the company? Do you like the company at this price? Does it make sense? Are you willing to hold on to it? If you're not willing to play the game, Matt, if you buy it at 150 and it drops, if you panic, this is not a game for you to play. Okay? So the stocks I look at, Macy's has been around for 100 years. You, with however much money you have, well, you might be able to. But for the most part, you really can't buy the name recognition that Macy's has. Okay? Ever since I was a little kid, Macy's Day Parade, Macy's Christmas Parade, Macy's Thanksgiving Parade, Macy's Easter Parade. Every single year, we'd go to grandma's house, we'd sit in front of the TV, and we'd watch the Macy's Parade. Every single year. You can't buy that kind of name recognition anymore. What else do we have for questions? Okay, that makes sense. All right, Matty boy, I'm glad it makes sense. Intel, Jamar wants to take a look at Intel. We'll take a gander at it. And I still got 100 questions to answer. Holy crap. Now, believe it or not, do me a favor. If you're asking questions here on TikTok, I will get to each and every individual question. I promise, every single question I will answer. One at a time, I'll go through them. We already looked at Dollar Tree. We just looked at IBM. Delika the computer. Thank you there, sir. UPS, Intel. Let's take a quick look at Intel. I actually have some Intel. INTC. I have no desire to sell it at a loss. Ooh, yuck. All right. Here's the high a year ago. Here's the low today. Here's where it was. Here's where it is. Look at the motion. Down, sideways, up. Down, sideways. Now we're at 1813. Okay. It looks as if my Intel is going to expire worthless, because I did sell, I think the 19s or the 20s. Oh, I forget. But anyway, I do keep an eye on it twice a day. I look at it in the morning. I look at it in the evening. Because it's my money, I want to make sure I'm not going to lose. So that's just the way I am. So Intel, the last 30 days. Look at this, the last 60 days. Okay, up, down, looking for the new bottom. Once they find the new bottom, it's going to turn around and go back up. I mean, that's what it's doing. I mean, is Intel going to stop, pack up all the shit and go home? No, they're going to go back to work. I'm pretty sure. I could be wrong. You know, if anybody knows, if anybody lives near the Intel Corporation headquarters, okay, anybody here in the audience lives near the Intel Corporation headquarters, did they close today because the stock went down? Or did everybody still come to work? Think about it. The stock dropped. So what? The president said, all right, yeah, Bill, yeah, this is the president, yeah, CEO, yep, that's me. I tell you what, stock's down, stay home today. They don't do that. Come in, stock's down, no big, they don't even, you know what, when I worked in corporate America, I had no clue what the stock price was of the company that I worked for. None whatsoever. Didn't even occur to me. I came in, I did my work, I went to my manager, hey, what's on my list? Okay, yep, got it, nope, no problem. I'll be over there. So I do my work. That was it. Did I care about the stock price? No. Did the boss call, say, hey, yeah, tell that James guy, yeah, stock prices are down. Tell him to go home. We'll call him back when we need him again. It doesn't work that way. You go to work, you do your job. Okay, whoever lives near the Intel Corporation, did they work today or did they call off because the stock's down? Stupid question, but I'm kind of curious. It doesn't work that way. All right, IBM, we already did IBM, we just did. Okay, so anyway, with Intel, now like I said, I do have some Intel. Okay, it's down. I'm not panicking, I'm not gonna sell, I'm just gonna, sit tight. So it's in a downturn, looking for a new bottom. Once they find the bottom, after this mess is done and over with, do you like Intel? It's an interesting question. It's either you like it or you don't. Now, are you gearing up? It is an interesting question. Are you gearing up? Are you getting ready for when the bottom comes? Wherever it is, wherever the bottom is, whenever somebody on network news, this is Jim Cramer, network news, the bottom is officially here. It's time to start buying. Is that what you're waiting for? Are you waiting for someone to tell you, hey, here's the bottom, let's start buying? Or are you going to make up your own mind? Say, wait a minute a second, I like Intel. Okay, once it hits the bottom, turns around, yeah, I'll jump in. Well, I'm already in it, so I don't really have that luxury anymore. Okay, LOL wants to take a look at LOL wants to take a look at UPS. Same thing here, dude. Okay, same as everything else. Finding a new bottom, going back up. Now, every once in a while, we will find a stock that is hit the bottom. Now, we found one earlier. I forget who it was. But we'll get there. I think it was Dollar Tree. Was it Dollar Tree? DLTR. Yeah, it was Dollar Tree. Here's the bottom, 1 day up, 2 days up. So 2 days up already. So Dollar Tree is a potential. Could be. Okay, LOL wants to look at Micron. You got a lot to want to look at, dude, don't you? Micron, MU. Okay. So Micron has a bottom yesterday and 1 day up today. Okay, even though today was a down day, still it was high, has a higher high and a higher low. So Micron is 1 day to the upside. All right, let me write that one down. Foot Locker, that's what it was. Foot Locker, that's what it was. Yeah. Okay. Friday was the bottom. Monday was higher. Today, not so much. Okay. So let's go to the next one. YOLO. What the heck is YOLO? YOLO. Yeah, no. Microsoft. That's a good one. Now, Microsoft, same thing. Looking for that bottom. Monday was the bottom. Today's a little bit higher. Okay? Drop, retrace, drop, retrace, drop. Here it is right here. Could this be the bottom of the year? Could be. I hope you guys are taking notes because some of these are good quality stocks. Microsoft, consistently profitable for over 2.5 for 25 years. Mary June, hey, hey, hey. Gotti, what's happening? AP Two-Tone, what's going on? You always wear that same shirt. No, Gotti, actually, I don't. I have 7 of them, okay? It just looks similar. I got a blue one, I got a red one, I got a dark green one, I got a charcoal one, I got 2 black ones. I don't have any light ones for some strange reason. But yeah, I do. I wear the same one, just so you guys know it's me. Anyway, Spade Slayer, how are you today? Two-Tone, what is MSFT? It's Microsoft. MSFT is Microsoft. Tasha, yes, this is exactly why I stick around. All right, Tasha, glad to hear it. Not quite sure, but alrighty. Frito, you probably addressed it before, but any advice on tax implications? Always, always, always. Now, I did a tax show a couple of months ago. I actually met up with someone who actually has a process in which you don't have to pay taxes anymore. Legally. You got to file, but you don't have to pay. Now, there is a video that I did a couple of months ago that talked specifically about taxes. Yeah, with taxes, you got to do, what do you call it? You got to talk with a tax strategist or tax planner to help you out of that scenario. Thoughts on UVXY? Sniggy puddings. UVXY. Never heard of this one. Pro shares. Yeah, no, it's an ETF and it's a VIX short-term futures. Yeah, no. Sorry, dude. Mary June, waste management in Walmart. Waste management. We're going to say no to waste management, Mary June, because it's monthly. 17 April, 16 May, 20 June, 18 July, which means I can only trade it once a month. No, I want weekly cash flow, not monthly. Now, Walmart, look, I actually have some Walmart, WMT. I usually don't buy Walmart, but I did. Now, look at this. Nice jump up right here. I didn't buy Walmart all last year, but it pulled back here. This is where I jumped in. Because profit taking, I knew it was coming, and there it is right there. So I jumped in here. Now it's at 81. It's actually lower than what I paid for it, but it is what it is. So let's take a look at Wally World. So you get the high, the low, where it was. There's all kind of nice, neat, fun stuff. Look at the last 90 days, the last 3 months. High, low is, look at this, up, down, up, down. Okay, the bottom was yesterday. Today, 1 day the upside. Tomorrow, maybe 2 days the upside. Don't know. Well, let's find out. Last 30 days, right there. Okay? Down, up, down, up, down. Today was 1 day up, but it opened higher, closed lower. So it makes me a little leery of what's going to happen tomorrow. Matty boy, what is your most important keys that you look at in a company when you want to invest, as in being a good company? And here is a second question. What is a bad company to invest in? As in, what do you consider a bad company that you would not invest in? Oh, Matt, that's easy. Simple. 2 criteria and only 2, Matt. Are you ready? Number 1. And this is going to be so stupid, you're going to say, well, duh. You ready? Number 1. Consistency of profitability. Are they consistently profitable? That's it. That's number 1. Number 2, weekly options. Okay, that's it. If it doesn't have consistent profitability and doesn't have weekly option, then it's a no. Okay, so Matt, you could look at it this way. Dividend kings, yes. Dividend aristocrats, yes. Dividend contenders, yes. Dividend champions, yes. Most of the stocks on Warren Buffett's list, yes. Now, those 5 lists right there will give you 300 companies. Now, you do not have enough time, most of the time, to look and research each and every single one of those. And you probably don't have enough money to put enough money into each and every single one to actually make a difference. So it's like 4 or 5 companies this week, get my 1%. 4 or 5 companies next week, get my 1%. 4 or 5, and it's just the same companies over and over and over again. Okay, that's it. There's over 10,000 companies, but I only look at 300 because only about 300 are consistently profitable and have weekly options. Video games. Yep, you have fun with that one. And you don't even need money to get video games. Okay, there you go. You have fun with that one. I don't do video games. Would you believe the last video game I played was Myst? Some of you probably don't even know what that one is. But yeah, me and my friends, money is such a joke, and capitalists are the circus or the clowns. Well, alrighty then, Lou Marx. Is that Lou Marx? Yep, Lou Marx. Good for you. Now, I'm assuming you have more money than you need, so you don't have to worry about money. And that's perfectly good. Oh, stealing money. Yeah, you have fun with that one. All right, so Sniggy Puddings, no, what? Mary June, yeah, Wally World. I like Wally World, but we're still looking for 2 days to the upside. Matt, makes sense, and Myst is quite an older game. Yeah, that's the last time I watched one. Eat the Rich. That was Aerosmith back in the, wasn't that back in the 80s, Eat the Rich? All right, Microsoft, we looked at already. APA2, knew that, just checking. Okay. Okay, Andrew Panagi. Well, I can't even read that name. I got to go back to, where were those questions? DAL, did that one, did that one, did that one, did that one. Keep on going. Yes, exactly why I stick around. Yep, Microsoft did that one. Oh, okay, so Andrew, you want to take a look at O Realty. I don't know why O Realty is a big fat no, dude. Almost every week somebody asks me about O Realty. Now, Andrew, 17 April, 16 May, 20 June, 19 September, 16 January. Andrew, those are all months, which means I can only trade that stock once a month, which means I'm only getting 12 checks per year. Yeah, no, thank you. No. Raul Gonzalez, you probably have a lot less now. No, I didn't sell anything less. Brent, can you show an example of a trade that you did? Brent, sure, why not? Let's look at U.S. Steel. You ready? U.S. Steel X. Here we go. U.S. Steel X is actually at 44.05. So here's the high, here's the low, here's where it was, here's where it is. Look at the motion. Down, up, down, up, down, up. Here we go. So that's U.S. Steel. It's over 100 years old. Okay, I do own some. So current price right now, 44.05. I'll be looking at the 44s. If I'm buying it at 44.05, I want to sell it at 44. Well, you might be asking, why sell it for less? Well, here's the reason. If I'm buying it at 44.05 and I sell the 44s, look at what I'm getting. I'm getting 90 cents a share. So in all actuality, I'm selling it for 44.90. So I'm buying it at 44.05, okay, selling it for 44, and I'm collecting 90. So that's 44.90, which is higher than 44. All right, so that's more than 2%. Okay, fine. Those numbers work. Okay, the high, the low, where is it, what's the direction? That's all fine and dandy. Now let's look at the last 90 days. Okay, so here's the last 90 days. Here's the bottom, here's the top, here's where it was, here's where it is. Look at this. Up, down, up, down, up. That's where we are right now. We're at almost, we made a new high today. Not something I would be buying at a new high, but he wanted to see an example. Now, I jumped into this one at 41, which is right here. So let's see if I was going to jump into tomorrow just to show you how the numbers work. Now, I do like U.S. Steel at 44. So let's get rid of this. Let's go to covered stock. Okay, remember I said 44s? 44s are right here. Okay, 44 right there, strike price, 44. I'm buying it at the ask, 43.06. Whoops. No, I hit the wrong button. See that? I hit the wrong button, but I know I did. Okay, here it is, 43.06. Now, just 100 shares. Now, I do have 3,500 shares, but I'm going to show you just 100 shares, what that looks like. Okay, I'm doing it the market order. Now, there's a reason why I do market orders as opposed to limit orders, because a limit order can and sometimes does stay on the market maker's computer all day long, never get filled. Now, a market order, gets filled instantaneously the very same day, very same moment. So at 9:30 in the morning, this will get filled. Both will get filled. It's a 2 orders. Okay, here it is. Confirm and send. Buy 1 covered call US Steel 100. That is the weekly. 11 April 25. That means this is going to expire this coming Friday. The $44 call option against the X US Steel at the market to open, which means 2 trades. Buying the stock, selling the option. Paying 1 commission because it's one order, okay? That's the order, but it's 2 trades. Buying the stock, selling the option. It's called covered call. Now, I will own the stock 9:30 tomorrow morning because the market opens 9:30. Market means I'll get filled very first thing in the morning. Now, I already know what my profit's going to be. So remember when I say I want simple, covered call is one of the simplest trading strategies there is. I want safe. A covered call is one of the safest trading strategies. Predictable, I already know what I'm making before I even do the trade. Consistent, simple, safe, predictable, consistent. Consistent, I can do it every single week because every single week they have an option. And if I buy it at 44, I will hold it to the day I die, and I will continually sell a covered call against it until it hits 44 and somebody buys it from me at 44. Because why would I sell it for less? It doesn't make sense to me. Okay, so here's my profit, 120. What is it costing me? It's costing me 4,200. Well, what kind of rate of return is that? For that, we need the calculator. Okay, clear that. Maximum profit, 120, divided by the cost of the trade, including commissions and fees, 42.80, 42.80. Okay, 2.8%. 2.8% for 3 days. Because remember, this option is going to expire the 11th, which is this coming Friday. Now, are you going to get these kind of returns every week? No. You're getting these kind of returns because of the turmoil in the market, because of the unsurety. So you need to ask yourself a question, and it's a big question. Number one is, does it make sense? Buy it at 44, sell it to someone else at 44, pick up 2%. Yeah, that makes sense. But are you willing to hold on to US Steel, sell a covered call every single week? Now, I showed you earlier where Harley Davidson, I got it back in November. No, sorry. When did I get Harley Davidson? I gotta do this again, damn it. All right, I got Harley Davidson back in October. Okay, and this week I got 30 cents a share times 2,200, 2,200, what was that? 22. That's just in this account. 22 times 30. 22 times 30. Is that $660? Yeah, I mean, $660 on premiums just on my Harley Davidson. I bought Harley Davidson at 35, and I sold this week's 26s, which is $11 less than what I paid for it. But it's still bringing me in $660 this week. Well, I could do that every week, okay? But do I get $660 every week? No. Sometimes I get more, sometimes I get less. But for the most part, I have no intention to get rid of my Harley Davidson until hell freezes over. And we all know when that is. Okay, so that being said, this trade here is a more than 2%. Now, 2% every week is over 100% per year. Well, that makes sense, right? All right, so here's my second half of my guarantee or my agreement with you guys. I said I was going to answer each and every individual question before the night is over. Well, I still got about 100 questions to go through, so we're not going to look at any more stocks. We're just going to answer questions. All right, so let's go. What do we have? Okay, Brent, can you show an example? What trade I just did? Just showed you that one. Okay, Lumarks and financial advisors are a scam. All right, Lumarks, you're not a fan. Nothing wrong with that. And I'm not a financial advisor, so I guess I'm not a scam. I don't know. You figure out what you want to do. You being an experienced trader now, what is the worst advice you were ever given in your career, or at least one of them? Wow, that's hard to say because I don't take advice. I don't. Oh, buy saliva. It was a company about 10 years ago. They had I don't know if you know what a pH strip is. You take a pH strip, which is something you use to check water, the alkalinity of a water or alkalinity of your blood, and you can put it under your tongue to see whether or not you have AIDS. Okay, this was about a decade or so ago. But yeah, somebody told me to buy it, and it was going to shoot through the roof because of the AIDS epidemic in Africa and all that kind of stuff. Yeah, well, I bought the damn thing and it tanked. They did a reverse split, and I lost all my money. Yeah, I don't take advice anymore. Sorry, I don't give advice either. I look at numbers and I look at statistics. Okay, so we have a whole bunch of questions to get through. So I'm not going to be looking at any more stocks. But here's the thing. I'll be back here again tomorrow night. I am going to go through each and every one of these comments and answer each and every single one of them. Each and every single one. So it's going to take a little bit of time. I will get to every single question. I appreciate that you guys don't ask the same questions over and over again. Cleveland Cliffs, never heard of it. Joyy, never heard of it. Okay, so here's the thing. Go to Alex. I've been investing for over 20 years. So what I do is very niche. I don't know. How do you pronounce that? Niche. Was that niche or niche? Whatever. But there's over 10,000 different stocks. I'm looking for one thing and only one thing: consistency of profitability and consistent weekly cash flow. That's what I'm looking for. It's a very small segment of the trading world. Okay, so I don't know everything. I know certain companies that are consistently profitable because that's what I'm looking for. Only thing I'm looking for. There's over 10,000 different companies. Never heard of Joyy. Joyy. Never heard of it. Cleveland Cliffs. Never heard of it. T-Tuff. You can earn $1 million with trading. Yes, you can. Thank you. Andrew Ogle. Good evening. Pedro Mod. Que pasa, amigo? U.S. Steel. What do you think long term? Well, we just did U.S. Steel, and I do own some. Wesley the Besley. Cool beans. They don't make 2 to 3x, 2 times 3, or 2 by 3s. You'd have to rip them down. Terribly sorry, Wesley the Besley. They do make 2 by 3s. They make 1/2 inch by 1. They make 1 by 2. They make 2 by 2s. 2 by 3s, 1 by 3s, 1 by 4s, 1 by 5s, 1 by 6s. I've been doing construction for decades. So yeah, they do make 2 by 3s. Okay, Dubert 24. I'm 35 and I'm just getting started trying to learn. Dubert, awesome. Come back every night. I'm here every single night. I'm not going to try to sell you anything. I will answer each and every individual question. It may take me a while to get to them all, but I do answer all of them. Okay? Okay, user 2098, blah, 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 whatever. Tasha. Same. I started 3 months ago. Stick around. It will click. Thank you, Tasha. Wesley Besley. And the price of the stock was higher and higher and higher and higher. Okay, Wesley, thank you. Mary June, Dubert, you are in the right place. He breaks it down simple. Thank you, Mary June. Simone, my friend, how are you today? Tasha, we need a definition list. Ooh, Tasha, I tell you what, I'll make a deal with you, Tasha. Okay? Tasha, if you can come up with a list of terms and words and whatnots, I will fill it in and I will make it available for free. Okay? I will fill it in. You just come up with the words you need definitions for. Cliff, how are you doing today? Super Dan, still making all those profits, still on pace for the 50% this year. Okay, Super Dan, okay, I'm going to be the bearer of bad news for you here. I don't even know if you're still here. But anyway, Super Dan, check this out. All right, now, Super Dan, you've been here before. You know how I roll. So blah, 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 yada, 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 blah, blah, whatever. Okay, so Super Dan, this behind me, 3 accounts, week 1, okay, December 30th to January 3rd. Week 2, January 6th to January 10th. Week 3, week 4, week 5, week 6, week 7, blah, 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 all the way up to week number 13. Week number 13 is the end of the first quarter. Okay? January 1st to March 31st. First quarter. January, February, March. Quarter 1. Okay, so Super Dan, you tell me. All right, you ready? Here we go. Super Dan, account number 1, beginning balance 151. Year to date, 38.8. Just for the first quarter. Week account number 2, beginning balance 143.9086. Year to date 26.05. Now account 3, beginning balance 114. Year to date 44.35. That's just the first quarter. The numbers we're seeing in the past month and a half are unprecedented. I haven't seen numbers this big before, and I've been doing this for a while. I'm not used to getting 3, 4, 5, 8% per week. I'm used to getting 1 to 2% a week. But this has been crazy. Week 13, 3.1, 1.2, 1.3. 2.5, 0.62, 0.39, 2.8, 2.8, 2.3, 1.9, 4.9, 4.1, 3.75, 2.1, 4.3, 2.3, 1.3, blah, blah, blah. They're all there, Super Dan. Take your time. Take a look at all of them. Every single trade I've done so far this year is available for you to see. Every single one. Don't panic about the red and the green. Green is when you buy. Red is when you sell. It's not profit, not loss. Profit, loss. No, no, no. It's selling. It's buying. Brian. All right, Matt, hold on a second. My eyes aren't focusing right. So that means it's time to quit because I can't focus. Okay. It's a question, actually. Just ask you, am a beginner. Oh, can you make $1 million? Yeah, that's going to take a while. Matt, is those stocks on your website or is it someplace else that you're looking at right now? Okay, so Matt, the list I told you about, Dividend Aristocrats, Dividend Kings, Dividend Contenders, Warren Buffett's list. Yeah, those lists are on Google. Go to Google in the search, Dividend Kings list 2025. They'll give you all the stocks. Dividend Aristocrats list 2025. Dividend Contenders list 2025. Dividend Champions list 2025. Warren Buffett's list 2025. They'll give you all the stocks. Okay, Brian, how many people are estimated to be in the stock market nowadays? Couldn't even tell you, dude. Not even close. So, Super Dan, I hope you pay attention to that. Blex, interesting name. Dubert, yeah, this is nice. He actually explains things. You're welcome. Super Dan, how does the strategy work last Friday? See, the funny thing, Super Dan, I do all my tradings on Monday. The more accurate question for you to give me one of those gotcha scenarios would have been to ask me, how did this Monday go? Because I do all my trading on Mondays, which means Friday, nothing was affected on Friday. I did all my buying on Monday, which means 99% of all my options expired worthless on Friday. So Friday had nothing to do with it. I want to learn about options. I need to be a one-on-one trader. Do you like the computer? Yeah. Hey, DM me. Send me your number. I'll give you a buzz. We'll chat. Now, I tell that to everyone every single night. You want to talk? I don't do WhatsApp. I don't do Telegram. I don't do cryptocurrency. I don't do futures. I don't do Forex. I don't do smart contracts. The only thing I do is dividend stocks for weekly cash flow. That's it. if you get a DM, if you get an email, if you get a text message, if you get a voice message saying, hey, this is James from Dividend Stock Talk. Have I got a great deal for you? No, that ain't me. I'm telling you here and now, I don't do that. If you want to talk to me, and I have no problem, I'm not going to try to sell you anything. Okay, you're big people, you're big adults. If you want to buy something, yeah, I've written 14 books. Yeah, I have a course. Yeah, I have a paid trading group that we trade every morning. I have all that stuff. But I'm not trying to sell you anything. I'm trying to teach you. I'm trying to pass on the knowledge that I have to you guys for free with the hopes. Here's my hope. The hopes is that my children, hey guys, and my grandchildren, hey Maverick buddy, that they are going to pay attention at some point in time. See, I get videos going all the way back to 2011. My kids and my grandkids can see me trading in 2011 and 2012, 2013, every single year. Okay, so I'm hoping that they're going to pay attention to this when I'm gone. Because I'm not in delusional thinking that, hey, I'm going to live forever. No, I'm going to be gone in, 30, 40, 50 years. Okay? But my grandchildren will still be around. My great-grandchildren. So how do you make money? Great. What did Papa G do? There it is, all video, walking through each and every one. Why? Because the stock market's been around for 400 years. It ain't going anywhere. It's going to be here long after I'm gone. And if I have videos showing my kids and my grandkids how to do it, well, you guys just get to happen to be here benefiting from that. So hopefully you're learning something. Okay, so how did my strategy work last Friday? Dude, you're asking the wrong question, okay? So Friday, nothing changed on Friday. Monday was a little bit more of a challenge because everything dropped, and now I got to figure things out. Monday was a little bit challenge, but I did make over 1% this week in most of my accounts. There's one account where I didn't because I got a margin call on that one. Rumble Chicken, how are you doing today? Ming Z, how are you? Dante Alrosa, what would you recommend someone with $1,000? Okay, Dante, my suggestion, if you got $1,000, number one, put it towards your education. Number one. Number two, paper trade. Paper trading is free. It just takes a little bit of time. Okay, paper trade. Learn, keep coming back. It doesn't cost you anything, come back. Are you learning something? What are you learning? What are you looking to do? Here, I lay it out simple. I'm looking for a simple, safe, predictable, consistent 1% per week. Now, the trading strategy I'm giving you for free was created for my 9-year-old. Now, most of you don't even know that. So here she is. Right there. Oh, wait a second. Damn it. Right there. YouTube video. Let's go see the princess in this. Now, in 2008, my 9-year-old daughter says to me, Daddy, what are you doing? Can you teach me? Well, how do you teach a 9-year-old how to trade when most adults don't even understand it?
Hi, I'm JC, and you being part of my internet website Club Thingy, which my dad doesn't let me calling it that, but I do. Being part of that, you're going to be getting weekly lists of stocks and hobby trading, and every month.
Okay, that's me 15 years ago when my daughter, she was 11 at this time. So when she was 9, she says, Daddy, can you teach me? Great, well, how do you teach a 9-year-old when most adults don't get it? Simple, safe, predictable, consistent, and no way that she can lose. 5 simple rules. Rule number 1, never buy something you don't understand. Rule number 2, never sell at a loss. It defeats the purpose. However, on that, I did take 2 losses today. Now, since January 1st until today, 0 losses. I took my first 2 losses today. I explained one of them in a video, so you can check that one out. And the other one, I had no choice in the matter. Never sell a loss defeats the purpose. But eventually, if you dance to the music, you will have to pay the fiddler. Rule number 3, make sure the company's consistently profitable. Rule number 4, weekly options only. Rule number 5, make sure the numbers work. So the loss that I took today was on Altria. Okay, Altria was part of a credit spread. I don't know if you know what a credit spread is. It's where you buy one option, you sell the other option. It just so happened that Altria jumped so much, somebody bought my options from me at $50. Well, I didn't own it at $50. Okay, I only bought the options, but I had to deliver. Okay, anyway, so needless to say, I ended up shorting Altria, something I never do. So I had to buy them back. So Altria went from 50 up to 60. So now I had to buy them back. It's like, I don't want to. So with the downturn Friday and Monday, I ended up buying back at 55. But I automatically jumped in and bought them back at 55, sold the covered call. So now I'm halfway to break even. Halfway to break even. So I didn't really lose any money on Altria because I collected so many premiums since I got in that position. But that's needless to say. But Riley, yeah, flat out loss on Riley. Only because I had a margin call. Now, somebody asked me about a margin call earlier today. Now, like I said, I have 7 accounts and I had 2 margin calls. Okay, 2 today, 2 yesterday, on the same 2 accounts. But the other 5 accounts, they're all fine. So here's the thing. A margin call. Margin money is borrowing money from your broker. So I put in 100 grand, my broker put in 100 grand. Now I invested all 200,000, but when the stocks pulled back, well, now I have to make up for that loss, which means a margin call, I have to put more money in or I have to sell something. Now, I wasn't anticipating the pullback in this account. So when it pulled back, I had no choice in the matter. I put some money in, but I was still short, so I had to actually sell something. So I did. I sold Riley at a loss to cover my margin call. So yeah, does it happen? Yes. I say it every single night. Do not use margin money unless you know the risks involved. Okay, so if the stock goes up, you make $2 for every $1 it goes up. But when it goes down, you lose $2 for every dollar it goes down. Now, a lot of the stocks I have dropped between 30 and 50%. So when a stock drops 50% and you're on margin, all your money is gone. The only thing left is the broker's money. The broker won't lose money. They'll take their money out first and you will lose all yours. So that's what happened to me. Don't do margin until you understand the risks involved. All right, so let's keep on going. We have a bunch more questions. Allison, Diane, how are you doing today? Stock Learner 4, how are you today? Dante, for someone, I'm not quite sure what that means. Purple Apple, cool beans, Rumble Chicken. Are Occidental Petroleum or Dell dividend paying? Yes, both of them are. I actually like both of them. Meta, hell no. Okay, Robinson Ezra. Okay, do yourself a favor. Go check out the numbers for Meta. Check out the numbers. How consistently have they increased their dividends? That one question you say, no thank you. Allison Diane, my birthday is August 31st. This is a sign. Alrighty then. Wesley Besley, averaging 1% a week will average to 1% over a year. No, Wesley, 1% a week is over 52% a year. You in bonds and UNC? No, I don't do bonds. Announcement date, got it. Sky, wrong EX date. It entitled to a dividend. No. EX date does not entitle you to a dividend, only the date of record. This is bad advice, y'all. All right, thank you, Wesley. Got to have haters. If you don't have enough haters, I'm not doing my work properly. Since you trade on Mondays, then when you decide you will be entering a trade? Monday. Okay, Brent, you make it sound like I've never done this before. I've been doing this exact same thing for 20 years. So it's basically routine. Okay, we are officially in week number 2 of the second quarter. Okay, so week number 2 of the second quarter looks very similar to week number 1 of, so week number 2 of the first quarter. So basically the same thing. Matt, wait a minute. Captain Obvious, thoughts on NMAX last week? Yeah, no. These names are wild. I saw one guy named Bobby Butt. Okay. T-Tuff, tell me please if price action is enough to trade. Okay. T-Tuff, everybody has their own ideas of what they want to do. I showed you what mine are. I told you what mine are. Safe, predictable, consistent, no way to lose, and simple. That's what I'm looking for, 1% every week. Okay, and I told you exactly what I do. Exactly what I even did a couple of trades to show you. Price action, I don't do that. Sorry. Brent, you have 2 days of up. When did that happen? Well, all right, Brent, I'm going to ignore you for a little bit because apparently you weren't paying attention. Abel Mac, good evening. Crib for Fit, okay. Danielle Luckins, interesting. Super Dan, how come your latest trades are from March and not the first week of April? Well, Super Dan, what's today? Today is Tuesday, the second week of the second quarter. I didn't get the first week of the second quarter up yet. I'll get it up before the week's over. Don't worry, it'll be there. Super Dan, what did he say? How do you like these companies that pay monthly dividends? Some of them are good, some of them aren't. What if a dividend stays the same consistently? Don't like it. Okay? I mean, I want consistent increasing. So let me give you an idea. Mayonnaise Mainer. Okay, so hypothetically speaking, if you go to work for a company, and let's say you make $50,000 a year, 20 years later, you're still making $50,000 a year. Is that good or is that bad? Okay, so as a company progresses, the profits should progressively increase. Hottest topic, calls, cool. Mary June, covered call, double bounce. Good evening, James. Good evening to you, Andrew. Bubble for y'all. Not sure how to do options. Okay, CyberFit, come back another day. We'll do it again tomorrow. Do you do any option writing? Yes, that's the only thing I do. Wolf, Procter & Gamble, love it. Matt, did you answer the second to ask questions? Do you want me to rewrite it? Okay, Matt, give me another question. I'm really trying to get into your course. Okay, Delight the Computer. Okay, like I said, you're on Instagram, okay, which is part of Facebook, whatnot. In the bio, the top left, okay, there will be an opportunity for you to send me a direct message. Send me a direct message there with your phone number. I'll give you a buzz. Brent, are you showing a low, then 1 day up, 2 day up, and then enter a trade? If you trade only on Mondays, when did this happen? Thursday and Friday, or some other 2 day up movement Wednesday and Thursday? Brent, yeah, you're paying attention to that part. Now, Brent, I also said we're past 11:30, so I'm just answering questions. I'm not showing stocks anymore. Let's get out of that. Let's get out of that. Let's get out of that. Alrighty, so let's go. Next question. Dave Jenkins. Dollar General offers dividend and Dollar Tree does not. Okay, that's not a question, Dave. That's more of a statement, but okay. Alex Pilko. Is this a good time to invest? Now, Alex, I don't know anything about you, so I cannot tell you whether it's a good time for you to invest or not. Everybody here has to make their own decisions, okay? I'm 61. I invest every single week because I need weekly cash flow to live. Because I'm not delusional thinking that someone else is going to pay my bills for me. I have X amount of dollars, and that X amount of dollars has to pay my bills on a weekly basis. So whether or not the stock market's up, down, or indifferent, I still have to have some money coming in somewhere. And I have no desire to go back to work. Matt, when you invest a certain amount of money in a stock, high or low, you let it go before you exit the trade. Okay, Matt, you're not specific with a question there. Say, when you invest a certain amount of money into a stock, okay, high or low, you let it go. before you enter the trade. Not 100% sure. If you can ask that question and make a little bit more sense directly right to the point, I might be able to help you out with it. All right, Michael Dean. Keep watching, James. Very helpful. It will start to click. Thank you, Michael Dean. Dave Jenkins. Ignorant question. Explanation probably for another day. But is it a covered call the same as an opto? Okay. You missed half the question there, Dave. Okay. But never an ignorant question. You got a question, ask it. Okay. There's people here that know absolutely nothing, and there are people here that know a whole bunch. So we don't know who knows what. So just ask whatever question it is. Mary June, oh, we did the same, but pop was 0.25 cents and can. Okay, Mary June. Brent, not asking for a chart. I'm asking the entry is only on a Monday. Is Thursday up and Friday up, or only 2 days of move? That's the reason why for the entry. Basically, yes. Brent, you're right. Okay, usually Tuesday, it could be a Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, all four being up, and then I jump in. When I'm saying 2 days to the upside, I'm specifically meaning new days. Like, look at this one right here, U.S. Steel. The bottom was Friday. Monday was higher. See, it's a higher low. Tuesday was higher. Higher high, higher low. 2 days to the upside for U.S. Steel, which means tomorrow could possibly be 3 days to the upside, which would be my entry point if, and only if, U.S. Steel wasn't already at a 30-day high, which it currently is. Okay? See, 30-day low, 30-day high. I don't buy at the 30-day high. I've never, ever, ever heard anyone say, hey, look at U.S. Steel. It's at a 30-day high. Let's buy some and wait for it to go higher. You know, I don't do that thing. Okay? I buy down here. Okay, 30-day high, profit taken, it comes down. 2 days to the upside, 1, 2, I'm into here. Goes up, gets to a certain point, I get out. I'm not looking to go from here to here. I'm looking to go from here to here. That's it. 1% is all I'm looking for. It's simple, it's easy, it's quick, it's done and over with. If I was looking for more, yeah, I'd be in longer. I have no desire for that. 1% every single week. Brent, every single week, 1% is over 50% per year. So I show you what my accounts have. Okay. Week 1, 151. 1% is 1,500 a week. Account 1. Account 2, 143. 1,400 a week. Okay? Account 3, 114. 1% a week is 1,100 a week. So you got 1,500, 1,400, 1,100. What was it, that $3,600 a week? I'm perfectly okay with that. 1% a week, Brent. Matt, how high does the stock go up before you exit the stock? Example, my friend, Tori exit all her trades and makes $8,000. Well, I'm not looking for that, Matt. I'm looking for 1%. Okay, right here. What do we got right here? Nope, not that one. Not that one right here. What's this? All right. Okay, Matt, you see this one right here? 310, March 10th, 9:59 a.m. That's 9 o'clock in the morning. Okay, buy 2,000 shares of Intel. Okay, 2,000 shares of Intel at $20.23 a share. Sell 20 contracts, Intel, 14 March 25, the $20 call, 77 cents a share. 77 cents a share on a $20 stock is over 3%. So as soon as it hits 20, I'm out. It's that simple. I'm not looking for big jumps. I'm looking for simple, safe, predictable, consistent 1% per week. Okay, you got it, Matt? Cool beans. All right, so next, almost done. Tech, good evening. John Senden, how are you today? Beachfront, good evening. Fitzair, I didn't think you were going to show up tonight. Eyes, lips, too. Well, alrighty then. You're new here. I can tell that name. Justin Johnson, how are you today? Andre Petch, good evening. Beachfront, good evening. Juan L. Avila, ¿qué pasa, amigo? ¿Cómo está? Hey, Twisted Philly, haven't seen ya. How you doing? You should teach how to save on taxes. Nah, if I do that tax thing, then people are going to really look at me. I don't want to get involved with that. That's a can of worms I don't want to open. Sorry. What's strike price? Allison Diane, strike price is an agreed price in which you and the buyer agree to sell something for. Okay, give you for instance. If I'm buying it at $43.88, I have to come up with a price to sell it at. Okay, that is called a strike price. 42, 42.50, 43, 43.50, 44, 44.50, 45, 45.50. You got to figure out which one do you want to sell. You can choose any one you want. If I'm buying the stock at 43.88, me personally, I'm going to sell the 44s and pick up 90 cents a share. Well, 90 cents a share is over 2%. I could deal with 2% a week, no problem. David Scolino. Walmart better. Yep, I got some Walmart already. David, Walmart, Dollar Tree is trash. Okay. Alrighty then. Gen XJ. Ooh, Gen X. Ooh, yeah. This message is held for review. Alrighty then. So Gen XJ, QQQI, I'm going to say no, 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 no. All right, take a look at the numbers. Seriously, dude. Seriously, take a look at the numbers. What is the current yield for QQQI? What do the dividends look like over the last 20 years for QQQI? Okay, now you may not be looking to retire. You may be looking for capital appreciation, which that might do it for you. Me, I want cash flow. That does not fit. David, same thing with you. VTI, no. All right, Allison, when do you ask those questions for which stock that you hold? Usually on a Friday. The ones that are coming up this week. Next week, no, we talk about those Monday morning. Okay, now Allison, every Monday morning, okay, my morning trading group, because there's a bunch of us, we get together and we discuss the stocks that are coming up for consideration for the week. And we take a look. Where's the high? Where's the low? Where's it moving? What do the numbers look like? Is it a good trade or is it not a good trade? Those we do Monday morning. Allison, thank you for that. Eclipse, good evening. Doug's, what's going on? Nance, Hess, what's happening? Brian Glasgow, good evening, good evening. Mike Jones loading up on SOXL. Well, good luck with that one, dude. I wouldn't touch that. But, hey, more power to you. Lincoln Bio, Dollar Tree should cost $1.25. Alrighty then. Scott. Can you discuss some exit strategies and scenarios? What is rolling over? An example of how you do it. Okay, Scott, awesome, great. Ask me tomorrow. Okay, we're 10 minutes to 12, way past my bedtime. What do you do when a stock moves up or down and how to manage the exit? Oh, Scott. Yeah, awesome. Great question, really. Ask me tomorrow. Okay, it's really not that difficult. If I'm buying this at $43.88 and I'm selling somebody the rights to buy it from me at 44, well, if the stock hits 44, someone's going to buy it from me. That's my exit. Just let them take it. I'm not looking for this or that. I'm looking for this right here. I'm looking for the premium. I'm looking to collect the insurance policy every single week. That's it. Okay, so if it goes over 44, yeah, they're going to buy it from me. Done, over with. If it drops below 44, I'll keep selling the 44 until it does hit 44. Simple. Eva John, selling calls, absolutely. Frank Miranda, good evening. Scott. Do I look at the deltas? Hell no. Charles Payne, covered calls, says get Delta's closet at 30. Okay, I got it. Now, Scotty, let me ask you a question. When is the last time you tried to teach a 9-year-old about the Delta? Now, if you try to teach her about the delta, you also got to teach her about the vega. You also got to teach her about the rho. You also got to teach her about all the other Greeks that are involved in the pricing of stock options. Because the delta is not the only thing you got to take into consideration. A lot more to go. So it's simple. Stocks go up, stocks go down. Okay? They go up, they go down. They go up, they go down. They go up, they go down. They go up. Where's it going next? Well, next it's going to come down. So this is going to be a no because it's already too high. I don't buy at the high of the 30-day period. Okay? It goes up, it goes down. Okay, I want 2 days to the upside. Well, this has 2 days to the upside, but it's a 30-day high. I don't want anything to do with that. I do appreciate the fact you answer all the questions I give you. Well, that's what we're here for. Random questions. What do you do besides investing? Well, I used to own a manufacturing company. Believe it or not, I was a CEO. But can you believe that? Me, a CEO? Who'd be stupid enough to work for me? Well, it was about 26 people. I had 26 employees. But nowadays, I don't do anything. I'm retired. Retired means you don't do anything. I used to do a lot of things. You name it, I've probably done it. But for the past 15 years, I've done nothing. I got divorced in 2003, sold a manufacturing company in 2003. And since 2003, I spent all that money and did other things. Okay. Matt, I appreciate that you believe me 100%, but here's the thing. I'm a Gen Xer, and I don't mean to insult you in any way, shape, or form. Okay? I tell you what I do. I tell you what I did. You believe it. You don't believe it. I honestly really don't. I do, but I don't, if that makes any sense. Because we Gen Xers, we believe, we say something, well, that's what it is. Okay? Believe it, don't believe it. It's up to you. All right, anyway, let's keep on going. AJ, how you doing? Allison, Diane, dividend stocks. Absolutely. So Scott. Yeah, I did not teach my 9-year-old daughter anything at all about the Black-Scholes pricing methodology of standardized options, which has to do with the deltas, the vega, the rho, all that other crap. Yeah, no. Implied volatility, no. Try explain that to a 9-year-old. No. Simple, safe, predictable, consistent. Adults have a tendency to make it more complicated than it needs to be. My 9-year-old, when she was 9, she was averaging 5% a week. 5%. That's over 60% a year at 9 years old. Most adults don't understand it. So yeah, simple, safe, predictable, whatever. AJ, good evening. User 118972, blah, blah. What platform would you recommend for someone just starting? I wrote a book 15 years ago. Now, I'm not trying to get you to buy the book. It'd be totally worthless to you because 15 years ago, totally different world. It was choosing the right trading platform for you. I wrote that book 15 years ago. Totally inappropriate now because most of the stuff is gone. But I found Thinkorswim over 20 years ago. And nothing has even come close to Thinkorswim, all the perks it has. I appreciate the honesty. I may have been born in 98, but I understand your thoughts and beliefs because I'm blunt at times. Alrighty then, Matt. You know what? You get to a certain point. Okay, I'm at that point in my life where I can't remember all the lies that I've told over the years. So I just don't lie anymore. It's not worth it. Okay, I'll tell you the honest truth. It may not sound happy. It may not sound pleasant. It may come out like a lead brick, but it is what it is. All right, and a lot of people hate that shit. It is what it is. Well, it is what it is. How you interpret it, totally up to you. We all have different interpretations of everything. I can bring 10 people to a car accident site and have 10 different stories. So it is what it is. Will you look at TRMD, torn price high dividend? Tomorrow, price high dividend. Okay, Heffercorn? I've never heard of it. Oh, Joey. Joey, do you like secure your puts with U.S. Treasuries instead of cash? No. I wouldn't even think of it. I'm not quite sure how you do it, though. That sounds interesting. D-Love 2022. Thank you. Will, good evening. Michael Dean. Mela Stocks, good evening. Augie Dog, back again. Did you get blown up? No. I've been here every night. You haven't. Classic VOL sellers. Okay. Scotty Scott, your margin calls from covered calls or other type of trades. Okay, where are your margin calls from covered? Yeah, no, those are the only ones I do. Only ones I do are covered calls because they're simple, safe, predictable, consistent, and it doesn't take me any time whatsoever to do them. Brooklyn Bridge, good evening, and how are you today? Joey, thoughts on BMY? Ooh, Bristol Myers Squibb, love it. Joey, we'll take a look at it tomorrow. We're way past 11:30. Mart Williams, good evening. Dennis Janet Prasad, okay. Dennis Janet, good evening. Mr. Remy, good evening. Mart Williams, all right. Really bored, 88. Okay. Heavicon, tomorrow PE ratio to 38% yield. All right, cool beans. Joey, Bristol Myers Squibb, love it. Okay. S. Marie, good evening. Anthony Bonsoir, interesting. Stevie, hey James, we're hanging in there. Yep. Oh, my tea's almost gone. Matt, wow, did you call your adopted kid half a person? Yes, I did. Great job, did 90 minutes. D-Dog, SCHD. Dude, you're doing that just to piss me off. Express Banks, good evening. J Diva, Altria. No Garza. ¿Qué pasa, amigo? ¿Cómo está? Kevin, Viteri. How much lower could Kohl's drop? I know it cash flows. Yeah, I know it cash flows too. Seriously. You know what Kevin, you know what I find funny? Okay, I don't find it funny. I find it rather strange. Okay, go into Yahoo Finance just for the fun of it and compare Kohl's to Nvidia. Okay, Nvidia, $130, has 1 penny dividend. Book value on Nvidia, $3.74. Cash flow per share is like $6. Then you take a look at Kohl's. Cash flow per share, or revenue per share, like $160. Okay, dividends like 27, I think. Okay, book value is higher than the stock price. Okay, just compare the statistic numbers, and you'll think to yourself, why the hell don't I have Kohl's? Why am I looking at Nvidia? People love Nvidia. Why? Then they don't. Never mind. Okay, half a corn, TRMD. Yeah, I'll look tomorrow. Publicist Princess, good evening to you. Flipper, 56, James, if you sell covered calls and the EX date ends on Friday, does the call expire at 3 p.m. that day? No, Flipper, the calls, all options expire on Saturday. Okay, we say it expires on Friday because you cannot trade on a Saturday. Okay, so at 3:59 p.m., 3:59 p.m. on a Friday is the last time you can make a trade on anything. Because at 4 p.m., market closes. Options expire on Saturday. DM1, how are you doing? Because it doesn't expire until the next day. You're absolutely right. Twisted Philly. So your covered call strikes price is always above the price you bought it for. Not always, Twisted Philly. In a perfect world, that would be nice. But it always, Twisted Philly, it always comes down to a numbers game. Where did I buy it? What did I sell it for? What did I sell against it? What is it worth now? Am I at risk of losing? Where is the best place to move my position next week so that I'm consistently profitable? It's really not that difficult, Twisted Philly. Calaman Bluestone, good evening. Alexander, 123453. Macy's closed 100 stores around the country. Yep, well aware of that. Half Acorn, TRMD. Again, really? You're not listening very well, do you? I told you we'll look at it tomorrow. Ritzy, thank you. Tell some stocks you can't go wrong with now. Interesting. Well, here's the thing. Johnson & Johnson, over 100 years old. Consolidated Edison, over 200 years old. Genuine Parts Corporation increased its dividends for over 70 consecutive years. That's a few. Anthony, oh, view request. Okay, Anthony, I don't know anything about you. I'm just getting ready to sign off. If you want to give me a call, we can chat and see if you have something that can contribute to the conversation. I don't just invite anybody onto the conversation. Sorry, hope you appreciate that. WCP, Anchorage Hot Tamale. Okay. WPCP, never heard of it. Brian Henson wants to take a look at Citigroup. Half Acorn. Dude, you keep asking me that question, ain't gonna do nothing but piss me off, dude. SHW, is that Sherwin-Williams? We'll take a look at it tomorrow. Cake Baby. Ooh, I watched that movie. Mike Beach. Mike B. Okay. Daniel, good evening. NVD. I have no idea who NVD is. What are your favorite Reese's? That would be the peanut butter Reese's. Wow, I still have all these to do. Tom Atto. What are your favorite defensive stocks? Sorry, I don't isolate my stocks that way. What stock scanners do you use? Okay, you're bad. What stock scanners do I use? You ready for this? Okay, this is simple, easy. Number one, consistency of profitability. Number two, weekly options. That's it. My two scanners. Myst and the whole series was fun. Yeah, it was. We started playing Myst at like 9 o'clock at night. And at like 3 or 4 in the morning, we thought to ourselves, what a freaking waste of time. The whole freaking day gone. What would you do with Eon stock? Never heard of it, wouldn't invest in it. Fitzair, how you doing? Anthony, nice to see you. PLNH, Rob, we'll take a look at it tomorrow. S. Marie, how are you today? Now, S. Marie, I'm not quite sure if you're testing me or not, but do yourself a favor. Go into Yahoo Finance or Google Finance or some financial website. Take a look at all the numbers on JEPI, all the numbers. What is the consistency of profitability? How consistently have they increased their dividends? Do they increase their dividends? What is their annual rate? What are they offering as a yield? Okay, once you find out those numbers, come back to me. We'll do something there. Another question. What do you think about Jesus Christ in the Bible? I'm curious to know your opinion. Cool. Don't keep asking him the same question, guys. Okay, so Matt, here's the thing. Politics and religion. Two topics I don't want to talk about. Okay? Never, ever, ever do two people see eye to eye on those two topics. They don't. And you may be the nicest guy in the world, but I don't want to know what your beliefs are. Well, we just leave it at that. Okay, we're here to learn stuff about stocks. Let's leave religion and politics out of it. Scott. Is 2 days to the upside defined by 2 closed days up, or just make newer highs and 2 days after the 30-day low? Wow, interesting. All right, Scotty, you ready? There's the bottom. 1 day of the upside, 2 days of the upside, 3 days of the upside, 4 days of the upside, 5 days of the upside. Okay, this is the bottom. You cannot argue with that whatsoever. You can if you want. Okay, 30-day high, 30-day bottom. What do you do next? Sit and watch. That's about all you can do. Go 1 day to the ups. Go 1 day right there. Okay. 1 day up. That's what it is. Look. There's the bottom. 1 day to the upside. 2 days to the upside. It's actually that simple. Okay? The high, the low, 1 day, 2 days up. So on the third day, if the third day is higher, I'll jump in. If not, I won't. It's actually that simple. Next day, not higher. I'm not jumping in. So I'm waiting for a day to go higher. There you go. Then I'll jump in. It's not that difficult. Adults have a tendency to make this more complicated than it needs to be. At 9 years old, it's simple. It's on the list. There's the high. There's the low. Now it's going up. Argue all you want. You cannot convince me any way, shape, or form that that's not the 30-day high. That's not the 30-day low. Okay? Up, down, up. It's actually that easy. Stop trying to make it more complicated than it needs to be. Thoughts on IONQ, Regati, and D-Wave? No, no, and no. Okay, Devin, I appreciate your interaction. I do. I'm very specific on what I do. Simple, safe, predictable, consistent, 1% per week. Companies that have 2 decades of consistent profitability. INOQ, whatever the hell that is. Rigetti and D-Wave, no. They just don't fit. Okay, Matt, you got that? Cool beans. Les, thank you for that. Bones, new here. If it goes down a bunch, you won't collect much on the covered call. Okay, Bones, I'm going to disagree with you there. Okay? Now, the reason, Bones, why I'm disagreeing with you is because I bought Harley Davidson at 35. Okay, let's actually take a quick look at, you know, I need my glasses for this one. Okay? Now, I bought Harley Davidson at 35 back in October. Okay, look at where it is now. Okay? It's at 20 bucks. All right? So, this week, which one did I sell? All right, hold on a second. Okay, see this right down here? This week, I sold the April 24s. Okay, do you see where it is? Okay, I bought it at 35. 35 is way the hell up here. Okay, this is at 20. I sold somebody the option to buy it from me at 24. Okay, and I bought in $660 this week just on Harley Davidson. Just on my position on Harley Davidson. Look, 2,200 shares. Okay, see right down here? 2,200 shares at $35. That's my purchase price. But this week I sold the 24s at 30 cents a share. 30 cents a share times 2,200 shares is 660 bucks. So yeah, the stock dropped 11, was it 11 bucks? How much has it dropped? Okay, 35 is right here. What was it? 35.62. 35.62, right about there. Okay, so that's where I bought, right there, 35.62. See where it's at right now? 20. I sold right here. Here's the order right here. I sold the 24s, 22 contracts, which is 2,200 shares at 30 cents a share. Now, granted, that's not 1%. It's a little bit less than 1%, but it's still 660 bucks just on that one trade for this week. So I'll do it again next week, and I'll do it again the week after, and I'll do it again the week after. I'll do it every single freaking week until the day I die, or until it hits 35.62 or higher. I have no intention to get rid of my Harley Davidson, especially if I'm getting $500, $600, $800 every single week. It just doesn't make sense. So when you say if it goes down a bunch, now I'm not quite sure what you consider a bunch, but from 35 down to 20, that is over a 30% drop. That's a bunch. From 35 to 20, that's a bunch. That's a $15 drop. On a $35 stock, it's closer to 35, maybe 40% drop. But I'm still making 660 bucks this week just on that one position. So do I care if it goes down? No. I'll hold on to Harley Davidson, and every single week, I will trade Harley Davidson. H-O-G. Now I'm going to go back all the way back to October. Okay. Okay. Here we go. Here's all the trades I did on Harley Davidson. 1021, that's where I bought it. 35 bucks, I sold at 35, picked up 184. And I don't know about you, but math, 35 bucks, what I bought it for. I sold at 35 call, picked up $1.84. That's 6% for that 1 week. Okay, then I sold the 40, 25, 50, 130, 42, 10, 20, 58, 58, 20, 25, 25, 40, 22, 30, 15, 15, 22, 47, 25. That was terrible that week right there. 5, 10, 15, 20, 20, 20, 20 last week and 30 this week. Okay, look at all the ones I got. Ever since I bought Harley Davidson, every single week I got some money from my Harley Davidson position. Do I plan on getting rid of it? No, I'll keep it. So just because the stocks go down doesn't mean I'm not making money. Doesn't mean I'm not making my 1%. Because even though I'm at 35, I'll sell the 24s. Because right now it's at 20, 20.82. I don't think it's going to hit 24 by Friday. And if it does, I'll push it out until next week. Because there is an opportunity to move it forward and keep from losing. So my main priority, consistency of profitability. That's my only target, consistency of profitability. Scott Cook, how are you tonight? I'm way past, holy cow, I'm past midnight. All right, let's keep on going. Sunny, cool beans. There we go. T-Dog, yep. Rizzo, dude, you just got here? I'm just about done. So fine now. Emir, good evening. Jacob Hernandez, no knowledge. What book should I read with? Oh, first book I would read would be Wall Street Money Machine by Wade Cook. Paul, covered stock for the first time. Premiums show up as a reduced share price, not the premium itself. Yep. TJ, how you doing? Jimmy King, what's going on? Liquid Nature, cool beans. Mike Turton, cool. Straight Dirtbag, back again. I'll be here most often. Yep. Bill. So what is the behind you of the screen? Is that chart list or is that dates? Oh, that's the chart. This here are all the trades that I made on Harley Davidson since I bought Harley Davidson back in October. Joel, Verizon worth getting? Maybe. Vanessa, good evening. Me Kasim, good evening. Roderick, good evening. Ketty Smooth, good evening. Champion Lover. It's not March 4th, by the way. I didn't say it was March 4th. Chet Donnelly. Fees also? Absolutely. What are you doing? Bill, good evening. How are you? Air B, anyone have any insight on pharmaceuticals tariffs? Nope. Smorgasbord, good evening. Roderick, what time are you here every day? 9 p.m. 9 p.m. until 11:30. It just so happens that we have a lot of questions today, and I answer each and every individual question. Check Rodriguez. Good evening to all. Okay, we're almost done. Almost done. Good evening to all. Blah, blah, blah. Lazar, good evening. It's past your bedtime. No, it's not past my bedtime. It's past time for me to be done. Lindarella, good evening, good evening. Harry for good. NVDA. Yep, NVIDIA. Yep, you have fun with that one, kiddo. Mr. Wales, no one makes 1% a week. I promise this dude's a grifter. Whoa! Mr. Wales, that is awesome. I've never been insulted before. Wait a minute. Yes, I have. Every single day. Okay, so your insult, don't feel bad if it doesn't bother me. Okay? And Mr. Wales, if you want to go head on head and you can take a look at every one of my trades and you can say whether or not it's 1%, hey, more power to you. Me, personally, don't care whether you believe me or not. It is what it is. Okay, that's the way I roll. All right, anyway, That's every single question, all done. Top free to tomorrow. I can't tell you that because I have no idea what it is you're looking for. We're all different here. And Mr. Wales, you want to come up and give me something else to go on? More than happy to show you. Nope, I didn't think so. Mr. World Derp, I have no idea what that means. What does derp means? All right, last question from me. Why do you think stock options and stuff is the best way to trade compared to the rest? No, Matt, I never said that. Never, ever, ever did I say that, Matt. Okay, what I said, what I am looking for, what I am doing is different than what other people are doing. For me specifically, Matt, I'm looking for something that is simple, something that is safe, something that is predictable, something that is consistent, and somewhere I cannot lose. If I do it right, there's no way to lose. Homer said, oh, Homer Simpson says derp, derp. Okay. Papa Laos, you missed my question. Now, Papa Laos, I'm here every night. You know that, and you're here often also. I answer each and every individual question. If your question has a word or a phrase in it that is monitored, it won't show up. There is always a way to lose. Bigger foot, you're absolutely right, there is. Okay, but that's my goal. My goal is to look at opportunities where I am less likely to lose. Now, I've traded every single one of these trades. Where are we? Okay, every single one of these trades, and you can count them all. There's quite a bit of them. 0 losses until today. Today, I took my first 2 losses for this year. Okay, only 2 losses so far this year. That's it. So yeah, there is an opportunity to lose, but I try my best not to. Okay, now one of those losses is not really a loss because I was so ahead on that stock. Even by selling it for a little bit less than I paid for it, I still made money on that position, but I did sell it for less than I paid for it. So kind of yes, kind of no. But Riley was a flat out loss. It was. It dropped to a point where my margin called and I couldn't cover the margin. So I had to liquidate it. Even liquidating it, barely be able to cover the margin. My bad. I must have heard you wrong. Okay, not a problem, Matt. I'm here every night. I have a certain way of doing things. I want simple, safe, predictable, consistent, and no way to lose. And apparently, I saw it pop a minute ago. I will ask tomorrow. Not a problem. But still, I love it when someone says, I'm a grifter and insults me and then disappears. I mean, who just sticks their head and said, hey, you're a loser, and then just disappears? Okay, apparently he's got nothing else to say. So I wonder if he goes from one station to the next, one channel to the next channel to the next channel to the next channel, just insulting people. Maybe he does. I don't know. But I gave him an opportunity. Can you not see my comment? Okay, Mr. B, the only comment I see from you is Mr. B's following the live creator. That's one. Can you not see my comment? That's the other one. If there's another one here, I'm scrolling and I don't see another one here, Mr. B. No, I don't see another one. Okay, now I do answer every single question. I go very nice and slowly. Harry for good. Thank you for your teachings. All right, so it's 12:21, almost an hour past my end time. So I'm out here tonight. You guys have a great night, and I will see you again tomorrow. Okay. Matt B, wait until tomorrow to purchase or now. Okay, Matt B, I'm not quite sure which one you're talking about. Okay. And Matt B, I know nothing about you, so I cannot tell you what is good, what is not good, what to buy, what not to buy. I can't do that. I could, but I'm not going to because it would be a disservice to you. Okay, I don't believe I'm doing that. If you want to chat, drop me your phone number in a DM. I will give you a call. And you can ask people, does he call? Yes, I do. All right. Ryan Pipkin. Hey, first time you're tuning in, dude. Thank you. You're welcome. Have a good day. Mr. B, trying to predict if it will be lower tomorrow. Yeah, have fun with that. I don't try to make those predictions. Okay, I look at what's happening and I go from there, and that's about it. So you guys have a great day, and we'll see you again tomorrow. William Jarvis, enjoy watching. Cool beans. Now, I'm assuming you enjoy watching. You have no questions, but too late. We're out of here tonight. You guys have a great night, and we'll see you again tomorrow. Same with you guys down here.